hours of sleep instead of 3 because you
Will
played
you
an
fight?
additional game of Valorant at 4 a.m.
Can you?
Wait, no, can I fight? Can I fight the urge, okay,
Shut up, nigga.
to not leave my house? Yeah, can you? No, you've spent the last 3 months in your basement, buddy. So why do you support Trump?
Because I smacked shit out you, gang.
Oh, well, I mean, you can't smack me from the
I see you
basement,
stuttering.
Mr.
Why you get
Dweller.
nervous? Why
I
you get
didn't
nervous?
stutter in a single statement that I made.
Did
I
you?
think that's a projection.
Why are you stuttering, little bro? You
When did I
nervous?
stutter?
I make you nervous? You're like, like, can you? Why do you support Trump? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You soft as shit. Let's be for real.
Yeah. And how many continents are there?
7.
Name them.
Antarctica, Australia, North America, South America, Africa, Asia, and Europe.
Good
Bro,
boy.
I'm smart. Yeah, I'm smart.
Good
I'm trying
boy.
to tell you.
Thank you for listening to me. Good
I'm in
boy.
college, gang. I'm in college, gang.
Good boy.
Yeah. Now let me smack shit out you. Where you from?
Oh, you're a good boy. You do as I say. You never
Yo,
smack
drop the
me.
Addy phone.
I told you to name the continents, and you did. If I told you not to smack me, you won
Drop the
it.
Addy
Good
phone.
boy.
Drop the Addy phone.
These fuckers are crazy, bro. Bro, dude, why is everyone so unhinged? We're gonna go to get that next guest loaded up in the box. Yeah, they're so fucking crazy, bro. They're so crazy. Oh my god. Why are there so many crazy people? So first, I have some fake leftist screaming at me at the top of his lungs, calling me a psychopath. Then I have some like Trump supporter like
Yo, can
saying
you
that
hear
he
me?
wants to smack the shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. The world is burning. The world is burning. Brayden,
Hello.
do you support Trump?
I do.
Are you driving?
I am.
Unfortunately, can't be driving on TikTok Live, my friend. Only opposite side of that queue, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, make sure that you're following the rules, please, and thank you. All right, folks, we got the next guest connecting to that live stream right now. We do have a couple people to thank as well. We're going to go to do that as soon as, we can get that next guest loaded up in here. Hi, welcome to Do You Support Trump?
I do.
Okay. Sounds good. How old are you?
45.
All right, bro. Give me a moment here to thank a couple people. I prefer it if, while I thanked a couple people, you didn't, like, threaten violence against me or, like, scream at me and call me a psychopath while you're muffling your mic because of how hard you're crashing out. It'll only take a minute, I swear. Jennifer, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal saying hair's looking good today. Thanks, Jennifer. Show some love to Jennifer in that chat. And then IDA, thank you so much for the $50 donation on PayPal. I really appreciate you so much for that love, Ida. Please show some love to Ida down below in that comment section. I really appreciate you so much for the $50. You are awesome. Thank you so very much for the love. Ida with the $50 says, hey, it's my sister Sarah's 21st birthday and she loves you. Can you please wish her well? Sarah, happy birthday. You have a great sister. Thank you so much for tuning in. Show some love to Sarah down below in that chat for her birthday. That is Sara. Happy birthday, Sarah. Same thing to you, Harold. Thank you so much for the $40 donation on PayPal. It's good to see you today, Harold. Let's get 400 Harold W's. Thank you so very much for supporting me and what we do. Same thing to you, Tyler. Thank you for the $50 donation. Holy crap, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, yesterday, B-Rad was talking about how women are terrible leaders. He's low tier. He knows nothing about the goat Cleopatra, known for her leadership and knowledge instead of her beauty like people think. Because, okay, history is not just whitewashed, but also man-washed. Thank you so much for the $50, Tyler. Morgan, thank you for the $15. Who says, I'm sending your money because you've made me such a delusional follower. You've convinced me. Thank you for sending me the DNC dark money. Thank you for the funds, Morgan. Angelina, thank you for the $10 as well. And Dip, I appreciate you for the 5. On Venmo, Ellie, thank you for the $10. Who says, for standing up to these smug leftist accelerationists. I mean, they don't stand up for themselves. They just roll over. Thank you for the thank you for the $10. Juliana, thank you for the $10 as well. Let's get 100 Juliana W's down below. And Grace, thank you for the $20. Who says, thank you. When I was 14, I was assaulted so violently that the damage will keep me from having kids for life. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that happened to you, Grace. Jesus. I'm fertile, but pregnancy would kill me. Not having access to abortion is terrifying me. Thank you for speaking up for women. Grace, thank you so much for the $20. I'm so fucking sorry to hear that happened to you. That is legitimately sick, okay? I appreciate you for being here. I'm so happy that you're still with us here today. Same thing to you, Emily. I appreciate you so much for the $25 donation. Calling that last guest uneducated. I appreciate you for the $25, Emily. Show some love to Emily down below in that chat. Tori, thank you so much for the 10. With that, we are all good to go. That Momo guest, they stayed up on the live for the whole time while we were thanking donors, but then there at the last moment, they decided they had no more patience left and left. Siri, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you so much for that love and support. Show some love to Siri. Siri with the $50 says, Dean, regardless of what you do, this delusional regardless of what this delusional accelerist says, you do make a difference. By the way, I'm a 10+ year member of DSA who swallowed my pride and voted for Harris in 2024. It's not that hard. I appreciate you for being rational, Siri, and thank you for the $50. Same things to you, Onyx. Thank you for the $10 on Super Chat. He says, as a leftist, we don't claim that guy. Real. Appreciate you guys so much for all the love and support. Welcome in, Champion MAGA. Do you support Trump?
I do. You actually wanted to debate me like 4 or 5 months ago. I don't know if you remember. I was in like some Texas MAGA chicks live, and I said I gotta go because I was in the middle of work. And do you remember that? You were like, "Let's debate me."
Oh yeah, you were like losing your fucking shit on live. You were like yelling at people who didn't support Trump. Are you still a Trump supporter?
I wasn't losing my shit. I was in the middle of work, dude. I was busy. I don't know what you're talking about. But let me ask you something. I do support Trump. Let me ask you something. Do you think that you're smart supporting a party that does the single worst thing you can do to destroy a country, the single most successful thing you can do, which is to flood its borders? So millions of people came in under Biden on purpose. Do you think that that's smart for America?
Oh, wait, I'm not a Republican.
Wait, and then number two, do you think that it's
wait,
smart
let me respond to point number one. I actually do agree with you that there was purposeful mass migration into America under the Biden-Harris administration. Now,
Okay,
I just don't take it to the conclusions
real
that you do. Just let me finish speaking here real quick, okay?
All right, go ahead.
And that purposeful mass migration into America under Biden was actually onset by Trump. Like, I mean, well, let's just consider a couple facts here.
No, it wasn't.
Trump went to every mainstream media outlet and he said, guys, the borders are wide on open. Anybody could come right on through. And then after, COVID really hurt a lot of countries south of America, people had the most incentive they have in modern American history for immigration north. Okay. Well, now he's letting them all know that our borders are wide on open. And then when the Biden-Harris administration turned around and they tried to pass bipartisan legislation, okay, to ensure that as many of these immigrants as possible were coming in through the legal means by expediting the legal means, by pouring billions of dollars into building new courts and hiring more judges, Donald Trump turned around and he said, Republicans, tank this bill. It cannot pass. It will not pass because I need to win the next election. If there was any intentional orchestration, okay, of immigration into this nation under the Biden-Harris administration.
Are you done lying, dude?
Almost. Dude. And it was set forth by Trump. But keep in mind, the first place where the Trump supporter goes, folks, is going to be back to the Biden-Harris administration, not to America today, because there's nothing about the country we live in today that could be used to defend the current
invasion. Did you believe Kamala when she said you needed Congress? Because Trump did it with executive order, and we're at 0% right now. So is it Trump really, or do you really feel that's stupid?
That's another good question. How do you think Donald Trump reduced undocumented entry
into this country? Dude, you can't manipulate facts, bro. You can't spin
explain the facts to me. How did Trump stop undocumented entry? Can you answer the question?
Dude, no, you can't answer the questions because you go on diatribes and you lie.
Oh, well,
Trump came in.
You just think
that
my answer to your question is insufficient.
Do you know that under McAleen, the secretary of DHS, 90% of people that claimed asylum didn't show up for their court cases under their pilot program?
Sure, I'll happily talk to you about asylum seekers after you answer my first
clarifying
clarifying question about the first thing you said.
Hold on.
Dude, listen, I'm not going to let you join my live stream and say, Dean, did you know X? Dean, did you know Y? Dean, did you know Z? Dean, did you know A, B, C, D? Like, whatever the fuck. Okay, let's go point by point. You made a point. You said that Donald Trump was able to reduce undocumented entry into the country without the use of policy through Congress. Answer the question, what did Donald Trump do to reduce undocumented entry into America? If you cannot expand on the points in which you are making, okay, well, then you have no substance that underpins your position. So instead of attempting to throw 3 billion questions at me at once, let's go ahead and expand on each individual point. Let's expand on your first point. Explain to me what Donald Trump did to reduce undocumented entry into this country without policy through Congress. Please, for the love of God, just answer this one very simple question.
Well, let's see. Kamala said she needed Congress, so Trump did it through executive order, right?
Which
so
ones?
Right now it's at 0. So he had to do something, right, bro? Because it's 0% right now,
which executive orders completely got rid of undocumented entry?
Do you need the details, or do you just need to know that it's 0%?
Well, I think
Because
that we need to
Kamala
know the
said-
details.
Kamala said she needed Congress, bro. Why didn't she? Why'd she lie like that?
Sure,
To keep
yeah,
the invasion going.
Okay,
Dude,
yeah, if I answer your
are
question,
you,
will you let me
hold
speak?
on, real quick.
I'll
Let me
answer
ask
that.
you this next.
Oh, wait.
Do you think-
You don't want me to
no,
answer
no,
that
no,
question?
No, wait. Do you
Oh,
think it
okay.
ties? Do you think it ties into the fact that they think African Americans are too stupid to get IDs? Do you think it maybe ties into the voter ID thing a little bit? Do you think that
so now
illegals
we're
are
also
voting?
on,
You don't think it ties into that, right? So you're low IQ enough to not believe that part.
Let me know when you want
It
me to
doesn't
respond.
tie into that for you. It doesn't tie into that for you, does it? Now, type away. Got to Google, bro.
No,
So
I'm just
it
writing
doesn't
down what
tie
you're
in-
saying so I know what to
is it?
respond
What
to
is it?
because you're just going
What is
crazy.
it? Are black people too stupid to get IDs that they can go get bank accounts and they can get on airplanes? But it's just the voting thing that makes it racist, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah,
It's
this guy's all
not
over the
it's not
place.
the elite. It's dude, you don't know shit. You're a fucking liar.
And
You're
this
a
is where you leave.
libtard leftist.
This guy's just straight up gonna leave. By the way, folks, when he's done saying all of this, he's just gonna leave the live. He's not here for a legitimate dialogue. He's not here. He's not here to hear me out insofar as how I'm gonna debunk his views. He's just up here to like spew nonsense,
Because you
and then he's
lie.
inevitably gonna leave. Okay.
His lie.
All right. Then also, yeah, don't throw
Virtue,
like
you-
a spin on the R word.
And you
just
lie.
throwing lib in front of it doesn't do shit. Don't say that on my live, please and thank you.
I'm right here.
You say
I'm
it.
not
You say
going-
it again. I'm gonna go ahead and kick you. So I just want to let you know that if you say it again, it is effectively you running. Okay, because that language is not permissible anywhere, especially in my live stream. So say some shit like that again, I'm gonna kick you. If you want a way out, that's your way out. Now I'm gonna try to respond. You know what? I'm just gonna. Well, you just got a flag. Okay, perfect. These guys can't debate. He crashed out. Oh my god. Now he got a flag for harassment and bullying. Hate speech. Fuck. Oh my god. All right. I'm going to go to respond to all the points that he made. The first point that he made was, well, hey, Kamala Harris said that we need to pass policy through Congress to reduce undocumented entry into the country. Then Donald Trump was able to get it done just with executive orders. That's not true. So Kamala Harris's claim that we need Congress in order to fix the issues is true because it requires policy through Congress to serve as a proactive long-term solution to the very shitty problem that we have occurring in this country today. It's going to take new policy, not just new EOs, to explain the way that we implement policy that's already on the books. We need to introduce as many legal means of entry into the country as possible. We need to ensure that the people who are coming through these legal means of entry are being vetted in the shortest period of time as possible for the lowest price possible. And then on top of that, we need to ensure that the undocumented immigrants who are already here are offered a pathway to residency or citizenship, not deported, because that just makes our country worse. It's bad for you, it's bad for me, it's bad for them. Okay? The second claim that I'll make here, once again responding to another point that guest made about voter IDs, okay? Nobody's saying that the reason why the SAVE Act is bad is because black people are too stupid or whatever the fuck you said to get an ID. Like, what the fuck? I don't, like, okay. Yeah, probably rooted within his own racism. We're saying that the SAVE Act is bad, not because it even requires an ID to vote, but because it requires, quote unquote, proof of citizenship, not to vote, but rather to register. And proof to citizenship is not an ID. According to the DHS today, that means either a birth certificate or a passport. Passports cost money, that's a poll tax. Birth certificates in many circumstances are either documents that people don't have or documents in which do not match an individual's legal name, like for instance, a vast majority of married women. Okay? According to the CRBP, I believe, around 30% of Americans, okay, would not qualify for the requirements considered under the SAVE Act and would not be able to qualify, i.e. get a new birth certificate or get a passport by the time the midterms come around. So we would essentially be suppressing around 30% of this country's constituents from any and all abilities to vote. Okay, so that's why the SAVE Act is bad. I don't even know why you brought up the SAVE Act in your fucking monologue. And then that's also why your position on Donald Trump was bad, because what we need is long-term proactive policy to fix the issue. And the only reason why Donald Trump has been able to reduce undocumented immigration into this country under a second term is by literally scaring it away, by infringing on the constitutional, human, and natural rights of the undocumented immigrants that are already here. Right? But anyways, that would be the cohesive counter rebuttal to everything that he just said. He couldn't keep it together. He fucking lost his shit. And then he got a flag for hate speech, so I had to kick him. Folks, TikTok has a TOS. You can't just come up here and go fucking crazy. You got to be able to keep your cool, for lack of a better term. Keep it together, okay? Act like an adult, and you won't get banned. We went from Manic Monday to Toxic Tuesday. Wow. Hey, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Good one. Evergreen is awesome, but we're looking for some debates. I actually think that we need to restart the stream. We've gotten quite a few flags for hate speech today, so I don't want to get banned. You know, we still have another 2 hours and 30 minutes to go. So we're gonna go and restart now, guys. In fact, to that last guess, if you want to come back up after the restart, you can, but you just have to vow to not violate TOS, not even put like a spin on the R word again. You know, like I told you that I was gonna kick you if you said it again, then I had to kick you because you got a flag. All right, you just have to compose yourself like an adult, and we could actually have a conversation. All right, but folks, go ahead and hit that follow button, top left-hand corner of that phone screen. It's easy to see. It's a big old red button right there. If you want to even come back faster than that, once the live stream ends, it'll show you my profile picture. You click on that profile picture, it'll send you to my account page, count to 10, refresh it, and click on the new live. Now, these restarts usually only take around 5 seconds, so I'll be back really, really soon. Before we do, I'm actually just going to thank one person over on Super Chat. Lord T, thank you for the $20, who says the only thing that should be needed to vote is your voter registration. Everybody should have a right to vote, including people in jail. Stop the SAVE Act, as it sets up hurdles from voting. It's a right. I appreciate you for the $20, Lord T. You're awesome. Show some love to Lord T down below in that chat. We're going to go and hit that restart now. To this quote-unquote communist saying that voting for Trump was better than Harris is insane, and all I can say is that he's a class traitor. Yeah, that was the first debate of the stream, Phoenix. That dude was crazy. Now, real deal, I appreciate you for your patience. The mic and the floor are yours to tell us why you're MAGA. Folks, if you want to help pay for my therapy that I'm so clearly going to need after today's stream, or just generally support what we do here to allow us to continue to do it for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can support the stream through the Venmo and PayPal. The links are in the link tree in the bio on TikTok, pin message on YT, and right there, Dean Withers without the Ian Withers. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you're MAGA.
Let me see. Let me explain something to you here. I grew up with a father that always taught me that strength is something that us men have to have, and I see that in Trump. And can I ask you a question?
Yeah, after I ask you a question, have you been here before?
Go ahead.
Have you been here before? Have you debated me before?
Hello?
Hello? Oh, he's cutting out of service. All right, we're just going to move on. He has been here before.
I can hear you.
Oh, he has been here before. My friend, if you could still hear me, I'm going to go to move on to the next guest. I took a look at some of your posts, and I recognized in the comment section under the second most recent that there was a couple comments from mid-2025, late 2025, and then early 2026. And these three different distinct group of comments were all talking about how you were debating me.
Trump, Donald Trump, 2026. Donald Trump is the guy.
What are the children doing these days? Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in the box, guys. Only hop inside of that queue if you're here for a debate, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Make sure that you're here for a debate. You got to be American. You got to be MAGA. You got to be an adult. On Super Chat, thank you, Brittany, for the $25 donation, who says, for somebody who's been essayed, I appreciate you calling shit out. Well, Brittany, thank you for the $25. I really appreciate you so much for the love and support, and I'm sorry to hear that that has happened to you. And, you know, I'm sorry if, like, some of these guests are triggering to you or other survivors, right? Like, this genuinely, they say some of the most grotesque shit ever. And I can just totally
why would
assume
you leak the group chat? Why would you leak the group chat?
that person's wild. You're crazy, Liv. Stay away from me. I'm going to file a restraining order. Ew, smelly. Hannah, do you support Trump?
No, I don't.
Okay, Hannah, you take care. We're just looking for MAGA. Moving on to our next guest. All right, here we go, folks. Trying to find that next guest. God, they've been crazy today. Woo! Let me tell you. Oliver, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you, Oliver?
18.
Where were you born in, Oliver?
Ohio.
Ohio is a state, Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue if you're not like Oliver, meaning that you got to be an American adult that supports Trump. Follow the rules. We got Laurel loading up in here. Raven, appreciate you for the $5 over on Venmo. graduate next week. Thank you for making studying for finals a little bit better. Good luck with the finals. Last law school exam. That's awesome. That's really exciting. Good luck. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now, everybody. Hey, I really appreciate you for the $20, Elizabeth. Let's get 200 Elizabeth W's down below. Who says, shout me out. Love you, man. I'm watching from the UK, age 54, and my family says that I'm obsessed with taking down Psycho Trump. You were doing a beautiful job. Well, thank you for the $20, Elizabeth. I appreciate you for supporting me and what we do here. Show some love to Elizabeth down below in that chat. Shout out to you. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Glup shitto.
Wait, what? I'm studying, mate. Wait, I've already quit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to request. I'm studying.
Glup shitto's been inside of the queue since we started the stream. We're gonna go to get that next guest loaded up in the box. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. What a name. Honestly, what a creative name. Glup shitto. What kind of name is that? Very creative. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? No? Okay, we got a bunch of bots in the queue, dude. Can I debate a woman? Are there any MAGA women watching? Can I do that? Can we do that? Can I debate a MAGA woman, please? We've been talking to men all day. Where are the MAGA women at? Hop in that queue if you are a MAGA woman. And for all the women inside of that queue who are not MAGA, please leave now. Because what I could see happening here is just loading up a bunch of women from the queue. And because women are at a significantly lower propensity than men to support Trump, a vast majority of them will not be Trump supporters. So if you are a woman inside of the queue that's not MAGA, I will ask you to leave for now, please, and thank you. Only up inside of the queue if you are MAGA. Looking for a MAGA woman. You got to be at least 18. You got to be American. You got to be MAGA. Let's try to get that next debate going down. Got to be MAGA. Look it, we got somebody loaded in. Mandy, do you support Trump?
I did it first.
You don't anymore, though?
I can tell you all the reasons I did that I don't. Excuse me? No.
All right.
I don't support.
I really appreciate you for coming up, Mandy. And we're moving on, because right now we're just looking for MAGA. All right, we're still trying here to find a MAGA woman. I'm pouring my soul into this one, folks. Please leave the queue if you're inside of that queue and you are not a MAGA woman. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Princess Diana?
Can we just kiss already, Dean?
Okay. All right, Diana. Moving on to Dr. Kiki. What the fuck are we doing? We got Dr. Kiki
Hey
loading up
there.
in the box. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Doctor?
Yes.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh, no. Why?
Out of the two candidates, I just went with Trump. He was prior being president. I think he did great for the economy at the time that he did the first term, and so I supported his second term as well. And that,
Okay.
after all, he is the president right now, as of today. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you to disconnect any Bluetooth devices that you're speaking to me through, such as like AirPods, for instance? I'll just be able to I'll be able to hear you a lot better.
Okay, then.
I think that she accidentally left. I really wanted to talk to her. I really wanted to have a debate with Dr. Kiki. Maybe she accidentally left. I think that you accidentally swiped out. Listen, if that was like you telling me that you need to talk to me through the AirPods and it's either AirPods or nothing, we can make it work. I was just saying that we'll be able to hear you better without them, which is true. But we could still hear you with them. So if that's the only way you could do it, that's the only way you could do it. Welcome into Sport Trump.
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2007.
And why the fuck do you support the worst president of your life?
Illegal immigration and how it's affected the black community. These Mexicans, Latinos, they've grouped up to support Democrat policies that harm black people They've grouped up taking jobs from the black communities. You know, they racist. And in Chicago, they're competing with us for resources. But we're going to handle that.
Yeah, so this is a myth created by white supremacists to uphold white supremacy by convincing one marginalized group to fight against another marginalized group, compared to collectively banding together and fighting against the marginalizer. Okay? Now, when you're telling me that immigrants take resources away from black Americans, take jobs away from black Americans, you are wrong. Over the course of the last 30 years, according to the Khalil Institute, they've actually generated a $14.3 trillion surplus. They can't take resources away from anybody. If they're generating a surplus, that's crazy. What about jobs? Well, they create more. All right? When we have a $14.3 trillion surplus, when we have 3 prevented recessions because of immigration, when we have higher real median wages because of immigration, then we have more people with more money that are willing to spend it. What does that create? More jobs.
Yeah, so all that sounds nice, but if you look at, because I'm from Chicago, and when we had an influx of illegal migrants coming here, it destroyed our city. And if you even look at New York with your daddy, ma'am, Danny, he even said it himself that the New York City budget is at the worst it's been. So, I mean, supporting all those illegal migrants.
Because of the shitty leadership of Eric Adamson, not anything to do with immigrants.
Is he not a Democrat? So you saying that the terrible leadership of Democrats destroyed the city?
Yeah, he was a doofus, dude.
Yeah, did he not also say that the immigrants were the ones that destroyed the city?
I don't fucking know what Eric said. I know that he's a dumbass. He should never have been. He never should have been the mayor of New York City.
Oh, so you support an Indian man over a black man? I got it, Dean. So could you respond to my point about Chicago?
Whoa, okay. First and foremost, Mayor Mamdani is not Indian. He's Ugandan. Okay. Second of all, this has nothing to do with the nationality or race of Zohran Mamdani compared to Eric Adams, and more so to do with the ideological bearing and the policy that they ran on and implemented.
So could you respond to my point about Chicago and the city budget being stressed out by illegal migrants?
How so?
Yeah, so many schools had to be turned into shelters for the illegal migrants.
No.
Police stations.
Many schools had to be
buildings.
turned into shelters for asylum seekers. Because for the first 12 months of an asylum seeker's residency in America, we don't allow them to work. Like, dude, they can't make money to pay for housing. So they either die or we give them free housing. And there is an issue there. It's not with the individual immigrants. It's with the system, and which makes the process of getting cleared for asylum take 3 years, and which denies them work permits before they're cleared for asylum.
So you believe that the plight of the immigrant is greater than the plight of the black Americans who have been in asylum for 400 years? If our
I think that all marginalized communities in this country struggle with their unique plights and struggle with intersected plights. I don't think that I'm making a comparative analysis of one group of people that are marginalized dealing with worse plights than another group of people that are marginalized. I'm just simply pointing out here that when you say that Chicago city budget was stressed because they had to build housing for undocumented immigrants, point number one, you're descriptively wrong. Undocumented immigrants are not asylum seekers. Asylum seekers are not undocumented immigrants. Then to point number two, the blame there, okay, because yes, sure, the city budget was stressed because of asylum seekers. Does it fall on the asylum seekers? It more so falls on the federal government, in which takes that process of getting approved for asylum take way too damn long, and before they're approved, they literally can't work, so they are reliant on our local governments.
Dean, you just tried to all lives matter the black plight in Chicago.
I think that I low-key think you're rage baiting me.
Nah, I mean, you just can't respond to my point, so you're trying to run away from the conversation. There's only 3 races in America: white, black, and Native American. Everybody else is an immigrant, so there's no such thing as marginalized communities.
Wait, so you're saying that if like your ancestors immigrated to this country, or if you immigrated to this country, then you don't have a race?
Correct.
Okay, so
In terms of America, everybody else is an immigrant.
So are you black?
I'm a foundational black American.
Oh, because I was about to maybe say that your immigrants could have possibly, therefore, your ancestors either possibly got here through what, immigration after slavery or immigration during slavery, but because you're a foundational black American, you think that black individuals are native to North America, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much about FBA. So, can you explain to me how I'm wrong when I analyze the data that demonstrates immigration is very beneficial to this country, including everybody in it, which would include black Americans, and the issues that we do see with immigration, such as the asylum-seeking process, the blame for that doesn't fall down to asylum seekers, but rather federal law, which puts them in a city scenario where they have to be reliant on government resources in order to stay alive?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you two reasons. I'm going to give you one economically and then the second one socially. So number one, economically, they do not benefit. You said they benefit everybody. They do not benefit black Americans in any shape or form.
Can you give me a study which demonstrates that?
So I can give you real life. I couldn't give you a study on that.
An anecdote is not going to be representative of macroeconomic trends. See, I'm giving you studies that are representative of macroeconomic trends, like the fact that immigrants have contributed a $14.3 trillion surplus, have increased real median wages, have prevented 3 recessions, have significantly reduced our debt and deficit, pay billions of dollars in taxes, contribute trillions of dollars to the GDP, right? Like those would be the macroeconomic trends which demonstrate that immigrants are very clearly beneficial to everybody in the country, including black Americans.
Yeah, so could you give me a study that shows that mass migration has benefited the black community?
Yeah, I gave you a study.
The criteria study.
So the study in which I gave you would be a study for the country as a whole and the people in the country as a whole. So if the average trend would suggest that the average American would benefit from this, then I'm led to believe that black Americans would be as well, unless you could give me a study to dispute that by representing that although the average American is helped, black Americans are hurt. But unless we have any good reason to believe that black Americans would be hurt with the average American being helped, I'm not willing to just basically accept that claim.
Yeah, so this exemplifies that you don't understand how race works in America. If you think that a rising tide lifts all boats, then I have a bridge to sell you. If you think because immigrants are good for America,
I'm not saying that a rising tide lifts all boats. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying unless we have evidence that the rising tide doesn't lift all boats, then we can't assume that black Americans would be hurt.
Well, I'm telling you my real life. There hasn't been a study done yet, which is why I can't provide a study.
Okay,
but
then how could you possibly prove your claim?
So I could just clearly talk about the city budgets of Chicago.
Oh, but I already responded to that. That has nothing to do with undocumented immigrants.
All right, so let's move to social. Could you agree that undocumented immigrants tend to be racist towards black Americans? Therefore, black Americans should not support them.
Well, I don't think that I've done a structural analysis of the quote-unquote racism exhibited against black Americans on behest of undocumented immigrants. I would definitely argue that out of all groups, undocumented immigrants would probably be at the lowest propensity to generate or exemplify prejudice against black Americans, since there are many intersectional struggles in which are shared between black Americans and undocumented immigrants, such as state-driven oppression, state violations of human rights, being treated as second-class citizens, or being labeled as non-people. There are many intersects there, so I'm not just going to be willing to accept that. Now, I don't mind if you would say on an interpersonal level that if there were to be an undocumented immigrant and which would exemplify prejudice against black Americans, on an interpersonal level, you wouldn't support that individual undocumented immigrant. There's no reason with that. There's no issue with that whatsoever. Very clearly, you don't have to support anybody in which would demonstrate prejudice against yourself. But on a structural level, undocumented immigrants aren't actively upholding an institution or leading an institution in which oppresses black people. And I thought that we just kind of went over how you can demonstrate any data or evidence to demonstrate that immigration into this country hurts black people.
Yeah, so overall, legal immigration does not hurt black people. What hurts black people is illegal immigration because it undercuts the market with workers. And since black Americans are already at the bottom of the rung, trapped into being lower income workers, if you flood in a bunch of lower income workers looking for jobs, then 2 + 2 = 4.
So you're saying like they're more willing to accept lower wages on average. This is going to disproportionately disenfranchise black Americans compared to non-black Americans. That claim's actually true. The way that we fix that issue is by offering them a pathway to residency or citizenship. The reason why undocumented immigrants are more likely and more willing to accept lower wages on average has to do with the fact that they held less bargaining power against their employers because they don't have long-term survivability in the market. They could be deported tomorrow. They have the threat of deportation hanging over their head. You also have to consider the fact that because they can't access a vast majority of all social safety nets, when they don't have a job, they literally die. Okay? But if we were to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship, we were to give them long-term survivability in the market, they couldn't be exploited for lower wages under the threat of deportation, and they could have access to any and all social safety nets, then they would be just as likely to accept lower wages as the average American. Therefore, in accordance with your own word, because they are now legal immigrants, they would not hurt the black community. So just to ensure you do endorse mass amnesty, right?
I do not support amnesty.
Wait, why? It would go from... it would alleviate an issue in which you think is hurting the black community, and it would actually turn it into a benefit in which is helping the black community per your own admission. You said that legal immigrants help the black community in America. If undocumented immigrants hurt the black community in America, well, let's just make them legal immigrants. Now all of a sudden the black community is helped.
So economically, I would say it would benefit them more than it would benefit America. Socially, like I said earlier, we would tend to see more ethnic enclaves, which would directly weaken the black vote, because we see Democrats now chasing the Latino
Is that not what white supremacists say about black people? Like we need less like black people in the country because it creates these ethnic enclaves and us versus them, or like white genocide or whatever. Is that like not like a white supremacist argument, but just like reframed against immigrants?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I believe that black immigrants also create ethnic enclaves. I don't support black immigration.
Oh boy! Wow. So
I support foundational black Americans.
So it seems like you and Nick Fuentes surely agree on a lot.
Yeah, the people who
wow,
the people who built this country have more skin in the game than an immigrant who came here.
Yeah. So do you view like Nick Fuentes as an adversary or as a teammate?
I mean, I'm not familiar with his work, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Even though Nick Fuentes called America, and I quote, "N-word hell" less than 48 hours ago?
I mean, Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, they both met with the Triple K to achieve a goal. So would you say that Malcolm X...
So you're actually working with Fuentes. And
no,
you think that this is...
You
think that this is like what is in the best interests of black Americans? To align yourself...
It is 100% in the best interests of black Americans. So let me ask you a question. Why did Malcolm X meet with the Triple K?
Well, I mean, I'll admit to not knowing enough about the history of Malcolm X, so I don't know specifics about his meetings with the Triple K.
Did you go to college, Dean?
I did 2 years.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. You know, I'm in college currently, but I always say that exposure is the best form of education. I don't think you're as exposed because you're a soy boy on TikTok.
Okay, this is where you get mad because I'm very clearly describing why whatever like ideology you are appeasing to is very clearly generating harm for the world. Yeah, feel free to call me a soy boy because I'm describing that clearly what you believe in is not beneficial for the black community if it makes you align yourself with people like Nick Fuentes. You fucking droid. Are you kidding me? Embarrassing.
Yeah, so I clearly said that as long as you can achieve your goal, it doesn't matter who you align with. Malcolm X said
until it's your head on the chopping block, and it has been before. Like this is literally, oh my god. Listen, I'm about to lay the facts down. You are okay with subjugating other individuals to clear oppression as long as you are not personally impacted by it. So if it's an immigrant, well, you're not an immigrant. Fuck them. You know, even if it's like a black person, like we don't need any more black people immigrating into America. Well, you're a black person, but you're not a black immigrant, so fuck them. Okay, but what happens when we get done oppressing and killing or ridding the country of all of the immigrants? And then your head is on a chopping block. And it has been before. Okay, do we remember American slavery? Hello? It's like, quote unquote, you are next, but you've already been there before. It's very clearly a bad thing for the black community to align yourself with white supremacy. And the fact that I even need to verbalize this is nuts. Right? Today, you don't want, this movement that you're creating with Nick Fuentes doesn't want black immigrants in the country. Tomorrow, this movement doesn't want black Americans born here in the neighborhoods. And the next week, all of a sudden, we have Jim Crow era segregation reimplemented. If these ideologies made their way to the floor of Congress and the White House with enough support.
Yeah, so I didn't advocate for the oppression of any black immigrants. But we can move on to economics because I don't want to race bait you.
Do you think that white people should be able to immigrate into America?
White people from where?
I don't know, from anywhere.
I mean, it depends. Are they bringing something or are they liabilities?
So it doesn't depend for black people and brown people. No more black and brown immigration. But it does depend for white immigration. Maybe if they're bringing something here, they could stay here.
No, I mean, if a Latino comes over and starts up Tesla, I would support him coming to America.
Okay, so then you actually support all of the legal immigration into this country over the course of the last 30 years because it's generated a $14.3 trillion economic surplus.
Yeah, but I mean, illegal immigration doesn't really start businesses.
Oh, cool.
I'm a capitalist at heart.
So now you support. So now you're walking back on all the claims about no more black and brown legal immigration. Now I've changed your mind. Now you're pro legal immigration. So, okay, undocumented immigration. According to the American Immigration Institute, undocumented immigrants pay in $1.1 through $1.7 trillion to the GDP annually. According to the IRS, undocumented immigrants pay over $100 billion in taxes per year on the federal, state, and local level. And according to the Khalil Institute, very similarly, undocumented immigrants are significantly less likely to receive money from the government. And in fact, they pay more in and take less out on average in comparison to the average American. And if we were to give them a pathway to residency or citizenship, they'd pay even more taxes because now they could actually claim benefits and get a tax return. And they'd be significantly more likely to make more money because now they'd have just as much bargaining power as you or I. So it seems like that not only have I convinced you to now both support legal immigration, but also support giving the undocumented immigrants here a pathway to residency or citizenship. Because what's the alternative? Mass deportation. What are the economic outcomes of that? Well, our manufacturers are fucking destroyed. All right, because now they're forcefully losing 8.3 million of their laborers and 12 million of their consumers. We lose the 1.1 through 1.7 trillion dollars per year worth of GDP growth. We lose the $100 billion per year of taxes. The markets destabilize. The socioeconomic standard for the average American goes down and poverty goes up. Who's hit disproportionately the hardest? Black Americans, for the reasons you've already described. This isn't even a theory. This is something that we've already seen in the last year. Okay, last year we had 1.3 million layoffs. Well, if we were to take into consideration the representation of black people within the population at around 14%, well, then we would reasonably expect what? Like around 200,000, 250,000, somewhere in there. I'm not going to do the math. We would expect around 200,000 of those layoffs to be black people. No, guess what? 300,000 of those layoffs weren't just black people, but specifically black women. So now I've described to you not only, how legal immigration is a good thing, how giving undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship is a good thing, but the real enemy here, where we're implementing policy and reform surrounding immigration that will inevitably disproportionately disenfranchise black Americans, is mass deportation.
Yeah, so I mean, you made some valid points, but my whole thing is so if we make that argument about legal immigration, I would say that they bring more labor than they do jobs. I feel like I know what point you're going to make. You're going to say they increase the market so it makes more jobs indirectly. But I feel like we should prioritize immigration based on skill skill points like Trump is proposing to bring more jobs. I think America needs high-paying jobs more than it needs workers.
Oh, then you
That's
wouldn't be
my
a Trump
main
supporter.
point.
We got the worst jobs report last year since 2003, ignoring recessions. We lost 92,000 jobs in the month of February alone. Okay, unemployment and layoffs continued to rise. Manufacturing bankruptcies are fucking skyrocketing. If inevitably your end goal is the security of the economy with the creation of new jobs, you would not be a Trump supporter.
So you believe that the Biden-Harris administration would create more jobs than the Trump administration?
Not only do I believe that they would, but I know that they did.
How much Kool-Aid have you drank today? Like, did the Democrats put something in your juice?
It's not that I've been drinking Kool-Aid. It's that I look at statistics given to me from institutions like the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. Okay, I'm not drinking a Kool-Aid. I'm analyzing facts. Like, for instance, fact number one, for the 2.5 years before Donald Trump's second term started, we saw the largest increase in investment into American manufacturing that we have seen in recorded American history. U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, you could find that on the Federal Reserve's website. FRED, look it up, I'm not kidding you. The day Donald Trump walks into office, it goes down. And it has gone down every single financial quarter since. And guess what? We need investment into manufacturing to keep manufacturers in business, because for the first 5 years of a manufacturer's life on average, they don't turn a profit. So they need more money injected. What's the outcome of significantly less investment been? The most manufacturing bankruptcies since 2010. Once again, not a cup of Kool-Aid, but another fact from the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Yeah, so you could fact check me on this, but I believe during Trump's presidency, the U.S. added 6 million jobs
In fact,
from 2017.
Okay, so you're talking about his first term.
Correct.
Yeah. So before the pandemic, we saw that job growth had continued along the same macroeconomic trend that had existed before. Not because of Trump's policy. We know that the financial institution by the names of Brookings has proved it. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, according to a macroeconomic analysis from Brookings, led to no brand new macro-level business reinvestment. Without new macro-level business reinvestment, companies couldn't create new jobs. Meaning that it was a continuation of the trend we saw from Obama, not new policy from Trump. But I'm not even talking about his first term. Even if every single thing that you just said about his first term was true, we're talking about a second term.
Yeah, I mean, I would need to know the methodology they used to prove that the act had no effect. Secondly, if we stick to his second term, we're about a year in, and obviously we've been year and a half. I'll give you that. So obviously we've been very distressed by the mess that the Biden administration left us, a world in turmoil. Iran, however you pronounce it, destroying the Middle East. I mean, it's been hard for him to really lock in and just focus on one thing.
Okay. So you said that the Biden-Harris administration left us in a world where Iran's destroying the Middle East. I'd assume that you mean trying to develop nuclear weapons. That's what MAGA says. No, Trump put us into that world by pulling us outside of the JCPOA in his first term. Second point is, you said, well, we're actually just fixing the mess that the Biden-Harris administration left us. That one could also be very easily and readily disproved with macroeconomic facts, because all of the macroeconomic data points were trending in a positive direction at the end of the Biden-Harris administration. Unemployment was going down, layoffs were going down, inflation was going down. In fact, the Fed is telling us today if it wasn't for Trump's tariffs, we'd be at pre-pandemic inflation levels. Okay, we saw jobs reports going up, 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 up. We saw investment going up, 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 up. We saw GDP growth trending up, 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 alongside every other macroeconomic data point. Okay, January 21st, 2025 comes around. Donald Trump starts implementing and threatening tariffs, pushes for the big beautiful bill, war in Iran. It's a mess. Now, instead of GDP growing up, 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 like it was in 2024, it's going down. In fact, it reduced by a percentage points in its growth rate in 2025. Instead of real median wages going up, 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 we now see that the growth rate of real median wages is trending downward, yet still growing. Same thing with jobs report. We went from them going up, 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 to literally getting the worst jobs report since 2003, worse than any job report we got under Biden. We've also already went over the manufacturing bankruptcies most since 2010, so definitely more than any year under Biden. And that's how I could very easily disprove your claim that, well, the reason why the economy is in turmoil today is because of the environment that the Biden-Harris administration left us with.
So Biden left us with the worst position that the U.S. has ever been in the last 50 years. We're seen as weak, docile. The world did not respect the U.S. under Biden. BRICS was creating a coalition to destroy the U.S. dollar. And Biden was just sitting down, taking naps, talking to Kamala about... Kamala was doing that wicked laugh, that wicked witch laugh.
So do you see how, like, I have data, you have, I don't know, false claims about women laughing? Like clearly, like, one of us is right, one of us is wrong. Because in order to prove you wrong, I'm pointing at a cohort of macroeconomic data points and running an analysis on them. For you to prove me wrong, you're saying Biden was sleepy and Kamala Harris was cackling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why everybody tried to lie about it. Like during Biden's presidency, everybody said Kamala.
What was one bad economic policy the Biden-Harris administration passed?
The Inflation Reduction Act.
And why was the Inflation Reduction Act bad?
It was terrible. It did not reduce inflation at all. It actually made it go up.
Okay, can you please give me an economic analysis to prove that? No. I could give you an economic analysis to disprove that. Well, okay, my first economic analysis to disprove the notion that the Inflation Reduction Act caused inflation to go up is that, well, it was implemented in August or September. No, it was implemented in August of 2022, right? Every single month after August of 2022, inflation went down. Okay, that's a really easy economic analysis to prove that it didn't make inflation go up. Now, here's a little bit more of a clear-cut analysis. The Congressional Budget Office tells us that the Inflation Reduction Act was deficit-reducing over the 10-year lifespan of the bill, meaning that it reduced our expenditure. Reducing our expenditure reduces, like, the input of the money supply. Reducing the input of the money supply has a downward pressure on inflation. Therefore, we know that the Inflation Reduction Act did have a downward pressure on inflation.
So, your argument, I'm just trying to understand this because I've never heard a Democrat actually say this. You guys try to say, oh, it wasn't meant for inflation. So are you now actively arguing that the Inflation Reduction Act actually reduced inflation?
So two things can be true at once. The other Democrats that have told you it wasn't really meant to reduce inflation were right. But it did reduce inflation, just really marginally.
I mean, I'm just astounded. Like, how much are they paying you?
To read the facts off of either my computer screen or to regurgitate the conclusions of studies that have seen proving this before? Nothing. Are you telling me that I am lying when I suggest that the Congressional Budget Office, who's run by Republicans, tells us that the Inflation Reduction Act was deficit reducing? Clearly, it just seems like you don't have a counter argument, so you're going to try to attack my character compared to attacking the substance of my position. That is, by definition, an ad hominem fallacy. An ad hominem fallacy is where you attempt to critique the character of somebody making an argument in an attempt to discredit the substance of the position.
Yeah, I mean, we can argue that their indirect policies also cause inflation. We can talk about their
sure, after you concede that you were wrong when you said that the Inflation Reduction Act caused inflation.
Yeah, I can concede that it probably went down like 0.0005%.
How much are they paying you? How much are they paying you? You just said that the Inflation Reduction Act didn't cause inflation. How much are they paying you?
So could you like?
Also, you said that you were wishing you were getting paid by. You legitimately think that the DNC pays me?
I mean, they probably on here gifting you every day.
Bro, you're a moron. No, the DNC
If I go
doesn't.
through your gifts, it's gonna say DNC.
Nah, bro. Listen, anybody watching the live stream can support me through the Venmo and the PayPal link tree in my bio on TikTok. Pin message over on that YT stream, and right there, DEANWITHRS without Ian Withers. This is private donations coming from people watching the stream, not donations from like the DNC, for instance.
Yeah, so I mean, just overall, like, just
Nat,
this
thank you for the $5 on Venmo from the DNC. Thank you so much, Nat. Holland, thank you for the $2. Thank you, Holland.
Yeah, that's probably Newsom.
Fassi with the $9 over on PayPal. He says, "Good work on that crazy MAGA unhinged runner. Appreciate you for the $9, Fassi. Show some love to Fassi down below." Patsy, thank you so much for the $30 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you so much for that love, Patsy. Patsy with the $30 says, "Here's my DNC money. Dean, love you. Thank you for all the DNC funds, injecting them straight into my bank account from Gavin Newsom's wallet. Directly from Gavin Newsom's wallet. Thank you so much." And then Fussy, thank you for the $5 over on Super Chat as well.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like, just the entire policy. I mean, we jump to a lot of subjects. My main point is about capitalism.
Then name one bad economic policy that the Biden-Harris administration passed.
Yeah, so if we talk about their extension of social welfare, I completely and wholeheartedly disagree with it.
What specific extensions?
So we've seen higher levels of food stamps, welfare, things of that nature.
Can you point me towards the specific extension?
So when I say extension, I'm not.
You can't just get away with making like some like general claim. Okay, you're gonna have to point towards exactly what policy.
So I'm speaking of specific actions and trends that we see under the Biden-Harris administration that we do not see under the Trump administration.
So show me the executive order then that you don't like.
Yeah, wait, do you have hearing issues?
No, I don't have hearing issues. You said I'm talking about the specific actions of the admin. Well, the way that an administration acts, okay, towards the economy in most circumstances, especially domestically, would be by influencing a bill to get passed through Congress or reinterpreting the law that is already on the books with the use of executive orders. But in most scenarios, it is going to be through Congress since, of course, Congress holds the power of the purse.
So I said actions and trends.
Yo, Olivia, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. He says from the DNC. Thank you so very much for that love, Olivia. Let's get 200 Olivia W's down below in that comment section for the $20 from the DNC. So about the trends part, you can't just blame an economic trend that's happening in America on the president, or else I could just blame the fact that we saw the highest level of unemployment since the Great Depression on Trump because it happened under him in the first term. You have to be able to attribute that trend to the presidency by pointing out what they did to cause it. Now, can you stop throwing like random insults at me every time I prove you wrong? It's like kind of annoying.
I mean, that's just some white. I mean, I'm sorry that you're hurt. I know that's just white boy stuff, but
I'm not hurt. It's just fucking annoying, bro. Like, come on, this is a debate stream. Put the big boy pants on now, okay? Stop crying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to insult you. Being a Democrat is insulting in and of itself.
Oh, but really? I mean, it's insulting to not want a rapist as president.
I mean, see, that's just called pivoting the argument.
No, I mean, you said it was insulting to be a Democrat. I'm on the left because I do not want a rapist as president. I'm on the left because I don't want rape kids to be denied access to abortion. I'm on the left because I don't want a president that has infringed on 2 articles of our Constitution, 7 amendments of our Constitution, and I do want tax cuts for the working class. Those are some of the main reasons why I'm on the left. Okay?
You're on the left
if that's
because
insulting.
You're a socialist who wants to keep increasing government spending on
the only person who wants to continue to increase government spending here is you, sir. So, do you know what the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, do you know what the CRBF is?
I'm not aware of what that is.
No, I know, right? Because you're a moron, right? But you didn't go to college, right? Remember when you said that to me earlier when I didn't know something?
Did I hurt your feelings, Dean? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'll give you more grace than you gave me. But anyways, so the CRBF tells us that under Donald Trump and his first administration, their administration signed $8.6 trillion worth of debt-related spending into law. Do you know how much that same institution reported the Biden-Harris administration spent?
Nah, tell me.
4.5. 4.5. Nearly half of what Trump spent. Now, what about Trump and his second administration so far? Over $5 trillion in a year and a half. It seems like the quote-unquote socialist who wants more government expenditure here is you.
So you would have to itemize that. What did Trump spend on and what did Biden spend on?
Oh, yeah, it's legit itemized. It is legit itemized on the CRBF website. Dead ass.
So were these investments that Trump spent on, or were these?
They were investments. They were investments that Biden and Harris spent on. Like, for instance, the largest contributor of the non-COVID related expenditure to Biden was the infrastructure bill, which like literally invested $1 trillion into renewing the infrastructure across this country to create more jobs, to give more people more money to then spend to prevent a recession without like causing skyrocketing inflation more than we already saw from the 2 rounds of stimulus checks. Now, another thing that they spent a bunch of money on was the Chips and Science Act, which was like unironically an investment from the government into American chip producers to build more chip facilities on American soil, to then take up more of the global market supply. Before Biden and Harris, we produced sub 1% of the world's chips. After that Chips and Science Act, we're expected to hit around 25 in the next 3 years. We also saw another investment into free internet, another investment into clean drinking water, and all of these government investments, which, you know, will give us an ROI, also then caused a lot of private investment, which is why we saw the largest boom in recorded American history of investment into American manufacturers under the Biden-Harris administration. What did we see under Trump? We saw that he spent $1.9 trillion on the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which, according to 2 Harvard economists, one on the right, one on the left, only led to 0.04% GDP growth annually, which is like around $60 billion.
So I'll give both the benefit of the doubt because both of their budgets were a bit skewed due to COVID. But if we just look at the nature of their investments,
then let's just account for the COVID expenditure. If we account for the COVID expenditure under Trump in his first term, he goes from $8.6 trillion to $4.8 trillion. And if we account for the COVID expenditure under Biden in his first term, he goes from $4.5 trillion to $2.2 trillion. What the fuck now?
Yeah, so if we look at the nature of the investments, we're just going to have a fundamental disagreement because you're saying that Biden's investments in the Chips and Science Act and the infrastructure bill are actually justified. I think they were terrible. I actually believe large tax cuts actually benefit our society more by bringing in businesses.
So why was the Chips and Science Act terrible?
So the Chips and Science Act was terrible because it did not, in large, bring mass industry. It did not bring mass industry to America. Could you give me some stats on the Chips and Science Act and how it benefited American citizens, bringing jobs or higher wages? I would love to know.
Yeah, I think that the Chips and Science Act has to date created like around like 5,000 jobs. We saw chip manufacturers pop up in Idaho, chip manufacturers pop up in Arizona, and we continue to see them pop up by the day. Same thing for the infrastructure bill. That has been so responsive to build infrastructure in this country that Trump has started to claim credit for it. Oh, we saw another chip producer pop up in Ohio. Oh, South Carolina too.
Yo, like you are really like, you're insane. You're not a real person.
I know.
The Chips and Science Act cost us $280 billion over 10 years, and you're saying that they gave us 5,000 jobs. Are you insane?
Oh yeah,
are you normal human being?
For that being the result after 3 years is really impressive. Usually it takes a little bit longer for government projects to get off the ground because you have to go through all of the regulatory requirements. Even before you end up giving companies money, you have to go through all the regulatory requirements. You have to ensure that the companies that you're giving the money to are acting in accordance with the bill. You have to ensure that, you know, you're like abiding by the 3rd section of like the 14th Amendment, equal protections. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of bureaucracy. The government works slow. That's just kind of how government investments go. And that's honestly why I'd say if you want to look at an immediate short-term benefit, well, then I would point you towards the private investment in which transpired because of the public investment. After we vowed to dunk billions of dollars of public funding into private chip manufacturers in America, we then saw quarterly private investment in those same manufacturers go from like $90 billion a quarter to close to $200 billion a quarter. So it was already recouped in private investment in like 1.5 financial quarters.
Chat, I want y'all to listen to this man. This man told us that $280 billion over 10 years is reasonable for 5,000 jobs.
That's not what I told you. That's not what I told you.
Been 3 years,
don't misinterpret my argument to try to like win the chat over. No, that's not what I said at all. You don't have any comprehension skills if you think that's what I said.
So for 5,000 jobs, I could start a McDonald's tomorrow and get 5,000
you know what?
jobs.
I'm actually fucking wrong. So first and foremost, wow, really wrong. Holy shit. Wow. So Brookings tells us that not only was the Chips and Science Act, that didn't cost $200 billion, it was $52 billion. So do you want to concede there first?
Over 10 years, it's estimated to cost $250 billion.
Nope. According to Brookings, it is $52.7 billion. So what's your source? Oh, you don't have one.
Okay, continue your claim, Dean.
Oh, okay. So Brookings says that so far, hasn't created 5,000 jobs. I was off by a zero. 50,000 jobs, 54,000 jobs to be precise.
So are these direct jobs?
And yeah, those are just the direct jobs. When we account for the indirect jobs, including construction, it's actually over 500,000.
So let me get this right. All right. So you personally, if you had $52 billion and you invested $52 billion into something, and you could only create 50,000 jobs out of $52 billion, because you are.
Oh wait, no, you're already wrong. Remember, that's $52 billion over 10 years.
So you are a social democrat, right?
Wait, you're already wrong, because that's $52 billion over 10 years. It's just been.
Could you read out a full sentence that says that?
One moment. That's $52 billion over 10 years.
So could you read out a full sentence that says that? Because I do not believe that for a second.
Yeah, just go on Google, type in how much did the Chips and Science Act cost. It'll be $52.7 billion. And that is a 10-year projection from the Treasury. That's how public expenditure policy works. They typically do it over 10-year projections from the Treasury.
I'm going to Google this right now. And I'll concede if I was wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Type faster, buddy.
Oh, no, you were right. I was wrong. It's authorized over $280 billion for 10 years. So you were right. The $52 billion is just for the first three. So go ahead and pick up where you left off.
Yeah, so I'm going to need you to bow down and actually accept that you were wrong because you didn't go to college. But it's all right. I'll give you some grace.
Wait. I did just accept that I was wrong.
All right, so I'll give you some grace on that. So back to this $280 billion over 10 years. Over 10 years, if I had $280 billion to invest, I would create a lot more than 50,000 jobs. Do you think, Dean, you would create a lot more than 50,000 jobs?
In 10 years? Sure. And that's what the proponents of the Chips and Science Act think as well. So Brookings estimates that in the first 3 years, there's been 54,000 jobs created. However, the projects are expected to create upwards of 200,000 direct jobs over the course of the next 7 years. Not to mention that there's another outcome here that you need to take into consideration, and that would be the private investment that has been triggered as a result of the Chips and Science Act, which is estimated to be at around $447 billion, which is 5 times more than the amount of money in which has been spent publicly. So not only has it created 50,000 jobs, but it has also caused close to $500 billion worth of an investment for the price tag of $52 billion.
So I want you to give me an estimate, because I've been on here 30 minutes. So I want you to give me an estimate of how many jobs you think would be reasonable for the American taxpayer to expect from 280 billion with a B.
Can you please respond?
How much jobs should we expect?
No. Can you respond to what I just said? Because you also have to consider the private investment in which it causes.
Yeah, so you said that the private investment caused around $1 trillion to actual.
No, the public.
You said half.
Sorry, you're getting tripped up. It's because you didn't go to college. It's that the public investment of $52 billion has caused close to $500 billion worth of private investment.
So I would agree with that. I'm all for private investment. So I mean, what's your point? I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean that seems like a point. Okay, so a projected total creation of like 200,000 direct jobs Plus, if we just look at the expenditure already, $500 billion in 3 years, that's close to like 1.5 trillion to $2 trillion worth of private investment over 10 years. Okay, so 200,000 jobs. Okay, and close to $2 trillion worth of private investment for the price tag of $280 billion worth of public investment. That's a good investment. Madeline, thank you for the future city. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I would have to disagree. I think we can get more for our money as American taxpayers.
Okay. So you don't disagree in the sense that there is an ROI generated. You just think that money would be better placed elsewhere. Like what? The big beautiful bill that spent over $5 trillion just to take healthcare away from 10 million people, food stamps away from 3 million people, and to reduce the purchasing power for the average American making at or under $51,000 per year, like that. Or the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that spent $2 trillion, okay, and only led to $60 billion worth of GDP growth annually. So not only was the Chips and Science Act able to surmount any level of investment achieved under Trump in his first term, but it also, in comparison to the investment made under Trump in his second term, wipes the fucking floor. So can you agree that in comparison to Donald Trump, Biden and Harris were significantly better investments than Trump?
No, hell no.
Okay, so in the same way I gave you a nuanced economic analysis to demonstrate that they're paying $280 billion for close to $2 trillion of private investment over 10 years with the creation of 200,000 jobs, show me a better investment from Trump. And be just as specific as I was with the Chips and Science Act.
So I would concede there as far as he hasn't made a specific investment that we could compare.
But he has made specific investments. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the big beautiful bill, the fucking ballroom. He has made specific investments. So why can't you compare them?
Yeah, I was going to make the explicit claim that both of these acts actually led to an increase in business ownership, especially in the black community.
Oh, no. I went numbers. I gave you numbers.
Yeah, I'm about to give you a number, sir. Yeah, so between 2017 and 2022, the black business ownership rate jumped 63%.
Okay, caused by what Trump investment?
So this was particularly due to the SBA, and you were able to write off taxes for small businesses. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right.
Okay, so the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act?
Correct.
Okay, well, see, the issue here is that you're like framing this from before the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was implemented. You said from 2017 to 2022, yet the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was only implemented in 2018. So let's do from 2018 to 22. And now, what specific provision of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act caused this outcome?
So it was opportunity zones, which specifically were targeted towards black neighborhoods.
Easy. Show me one study that reliably concluded with sound methodology that Donald Trump's opportunity zones increase black business ownership.
So
because I could give you a study to demonstrate otherwise, from Harvard, in fact. I could give you a study from Harvard that says that only 1%, of the investment from Trump's opportunity zones went into the creation of jobs in marginalized communities. The other 99% of those investments were used to buy real estate properties because still yet they were tax deductible, given that they were buying the real estate properties in the opportunity zone. Okay, so show me your study that reliably concludes that Trump's opportunity zones increase black employment.
I mean, you got me there because I have a life. I can't pull up a study. I can't pull up a study right now.
So then your argument is wrong, already off the rip. So then go ahead and try to give me an example of another business investment from Trump
so hold
that
up.
was better than the Tax Cuts and that was better than the Chips and Science Act under Biden and Harris.
If you're concluding that it wasn't due to the opportunity zones, what was it due to? Magically, why did
this is where you want to this is where you want to burden shift. No, see, you have to be able to demonstrate that it was caused by the Trump administration. I don't have to demonstrate that it wasn't caused by the Trump administration. I don't know if you've ever had a debate before, probably not because you didn't go to college, but that's what we call making a positive claim in which would then necessitate a burden of proof.
Why are you projecting, Dean? I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings.
No, I'm not projecting. I'm just, make it. Why are you getting angry? So butthurt over.
I mean, if we talk about another policy, we can.
Oh no, I don't want to talk about another policy. I want you to demonstrate the evidence that entails the conclusion that the Trump administration's policy directly increased, black business ownership by giving justifying evidence, as you are the one in which would possess the burden of proof.
So without any current like without the current ability to pull up a study, I would be forced to make a correlation causation, which I will do anyways because I went to college and you didn't.
Okay, great.
So I'm
well,
going
I
to
mean,
say
because you didn't go to college, you don't know this, but I'll happily inform you that a correlation causation is literally the name of a logical fallacy. You cannot just assume that because two variables are correlated to one another, that the first variable caused the second. Sorry, buddy. I know you didn't go to college, but I'm happy that I could educate you on that logical fallacy. Thank you.
yeah. So for me as a voter, if my people had a 63% increase under one person who explicitly claimed he was good for businesses, and then the business rate dropped under another, I would probably support the first person. Just
Okay,
from a
perfect. Well, let's do
non-college standpoint.
So
Dean.
let's do correlation causation fallacies real quick. What was the black unemployment level in August of 2020?
So you're gonna say 5.3%, and then it
Nope.
jumped up to 7.1.
Nope. 24. 24% in August of 2020. Who was president?
I would say Donald Trump, but COVID happened.
Oh wait, no, COVID doesn't matter because still yet the two variables are correlated to one another. You as a voter, okay, should see that we saw the highest black unemployment since the Great Depression under President number 1, Trump, and then we saw two 50-year historical lows for black unemployment under Biden at 5.2% and then 5.3%. Therefore, clearly it seems like the better president here in accordance with your correlation causation fallacy would be Biden.
But you see how I could provide the co-founding variable while you were unable to provide a co-founding variable?
Oh, okay. See, the co-founding variable doesn't matter. The reason why I make that claim is because a person who makes the positive claim will always have the burden of proof. It is not my burden to provide a co-founding variable in which caused this, else risk affirming your correlation causation fallacy. It is actually your burden of proof as a person making the positive claim to justify that the president caused it. You should know this, and you would, but you didn't go to college.
The person has the burden of proof, bro. You sound like a nerd. Just give me the variable.
Yeah. Say I sound like the person who reads books and is educated. I know. Appreciate you for the compliment.
You sound like you got your head
G.
dunked in the toilet in middle school. And now you're upset.
Yeah, got my head dunked in the toilet, popped it out, and now I'm shitting on Trump supporters day in and day out. I know. Stay mad, buddy. Stay mad. Stay pissed.
So could you tell me the variable, or are you gonna default to the rules? Because I didn't understand this was a
So
game.
I will definitely default to the rule that the person who makes a claim possesses the burden of proof to prove the claim.
Who made this rule?
Well, actually, the classical laws of logic would suggest this rule is a logical imperative. Okay? Well, I mean, it also would depend on your theory of justification. I wouldn't say it's a logical imperative. It would depend on your theory of justification. But the classical theory of justification would suggest that the person who makes a claim would have the burden of proof in order to demonstrate that it's true. So the most direct and concise answer, quote unquote, who creates this rule, it would be the classical theory of justification.
So Dean, I mean, I'm pretty sure I proved you wrong on every point here, and then you've just grasped for straws to the point where you defaulted to the rules.
No, yeah,
Do you not feel like a nerd?
Yeah. Wait,
Does
I'm
this
so
remind
sorry.
you of when you used to get your head dunked in the toilet?
You used the word proved me wrong. No, you haven't proven anything because you haven't given evidence. You remember, you're like, your argument is supposed to be that you don't need to give evidence he caused it. Therefore, you don't need to prove me wrong. So let me correct you. What you meant to say wasn't, Dean, I've proved you wrong, but rather, Dean, I don't need to prove you wrong.
Yeah, so you can claim it's a correlation causation fallacy.
Well, it's not that I'm claiming it is. It is a correlation causation fallacy. By definition, a correlation causation fallacy is where you assume that two variables that are correlated with one another have a causal relationship between one another.
Yeah, so under Biden, all right, so let me bring up a source now because I'm able to do that. But while I do that, I just want to make this quick claim. If this happened under Biden and Harris, you would be running around screaming at the top of your white boy lungs that Biden caused black business growth.
Okay,
So
well, I
just
could
find it
actually
very
prove that wrong
disingenuous.
too. I don't attribute the COVID bounce back jobs to Biden. If I did, he would literally be the very best president for employment in American history. Have I ever said that Biden is the very best president for employment in American history? No, because I don't think just because the bounce back of jobs from the pandemic was caused by Biden just because Biden was president. You're wrong.
I mean, that's up to you. That's your prerogative.
Well, I just proved your argument wrong again. You didn't go to college. You were too busy getting your head dunked in toilets.
I'm in college right
You're a
now,
little
sir. I'm
nerd.
sorry you must project.
Are you in the bathroom stall with your head in the toilet?
Oh, so you're projecting once again. So I'm pulling up the source right now.
No, I'm not projecting. I'm just making an observation here. No college, head in the toilet.
Yeah, so before you dropped
Right?
out...
Can we
like-
agree
like
that
a
you're
loser.
no college, head in the toilet like a loser? Because you dropped out of college?
So before you dropped out, what did you major
Wait,
in?
no, you dropped out. I didn't drop out.
so
I'm in
projection.
college.
Projection, okay.
No, I'm not projecting. You dropped out of college like a loser, and I bet when you were in college, you got your head put in the toilet like a nerd.
Okay, more projection.
I was in school
All
for
right, so-
philosophy.
So I'm gonna go pull it up
And,
real quick.
and
so
by,
I'll be
and
on
by the
TikTok.
way, let
So-
me clarify. I probably don't need college. Have you considered that as you sit on my live stream with 22,000 live viewers?
Wait, could you repeat what you just said, sir?
I said I probably don't need college. Have you considered that while you sit on my live stream with 22,000 live viewers?
I see 13.8, but
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
because you
that's
don't see
your
the
prerogative.
YouTube stream.
Oh, so
Which is
it's
at
even more
6,000.
bumbling.
Which is 20. Sorry, let me clarify here. Not 22,000 live viewers, 20,000 live viewers.
I mean, human nature dictates that people follow celebrities all the time. That doesn't make them.
Oh, you
interesting.
think I'm a celebrity?
No, I think you're a bot. Like,
Well, I mean,
actually
you just said that human nature
you're a
dictates
robot.
people follow celebrities in response to me saying I have 20,000 live viewers. No, you do think I'm a celebrity. How kind.
What's the definition of celebrity, Dean?
Well, apparently, according to you, your definition would include me.
Yeah, it would be a famous figure. So I would say that. Yeah, people do
Why?
tend to
You think
flock
I'm
to
famous?
weirdos. Yeah, people flock to weirdos.
You think
all
I'm
the time.
famous? Really?
R. Kelly- R.
Wait,
Kelly
before
was
we get to
famous.
the flock to weirdos part, you really think I'm famous? Wow. Listen,
Jubilee
the
made
adoration,
you.
that'll get you a
Jubilee
mile.
made you.
See, when you were telling me that, like, I, college dropout loser getting the head dunked in toilets, that frustrated. But now you're like admiring me. I'm a famous celebrity. I'm starting to like you.
Jubilee made you.
Wait,
All right,
Jubilee
so-
made me a famous celebrity? So I'm still a famous celebrity, according to you, right?
Dean, you're not gonna believe this. Wait, hold on, Dean. You're not gonna believe this.
Oh,
But
God.
Brookings, your source, right? This is beautiful, Dean. This is almost like a Jesus. Brookings.edu. It's titled "Reaping the Unrealized Gains of Black Business." Your own source. Your daddy Brookings.edu.
Oh, wow. So you gave me a source for the claim that from 2017 to 2022, the number of black-owned businesses surged. However, you did not give me a source that proves that surge was caused by the Trump administration. You're an idiot. Thought we already went over this.
So if you go down to the second part of the article that says transitioning from a sole proprietor to an employer firm, it gives you figure 1, which shows that under the SBA, which is controlled by Trump under his administration, I don't know if you knew that, under the SBA, during this time, more loans were given out to black businesses. So
Okay,
I
sure.
think
Where
we
can I-
need to hit that anxiety pen
so where
and
can I
sit
find
down
it?
for a little bit to process.
Where can I find that?
So, as I just said, there's 5 sections of the article. The second section titled "Transitioning from a sole proprietor to an employer firm." Then you go to figure 1 and look at that chart.
Do you mean table 1?
Figure 1.
Where's figure 1? I just see table 1.
So it says figure
Oh,
1 shows
shit.
this.
Wait, why are you lying?
Read out what it says, Dean.
I'll
Please
just
read
show.
it out.
I'll show everybody. Why are you lying? Why, bro? You have it on your screen. Why would you lie about it? You said that there was more loans approved under the Trump administration via figure 1 of this graph.
Wait, scroll up to that paragraph.
One moment.
Scroll up to that first.
Let's take a look at Figure 1. Okay, 2017 Trump was president. 4% of businesses had loans approved. 2018 Trump was president. 4% of businesses had loans approved. 2019 Trump was president. 4% of businesses had loans approved. 2020 Trump was president. 4% of businesses had loans approved. Okay. Now the next year is when Biden's term starts. 5%. Wait, 5% is definitely more than 4. In fact, it's higher than any percentage under the entirety of the Trump administration. Wow. No, 22. Wow, 7%? 8%? Holy fuck. Okay, and then it goes down by 1%, but it's still at 7, still much higher than any other term under the admin. And then 2025, it stayed at 7%. Wow, your own source proves you wrong. You must be butthurt.
Yo, this is hilarious. You literally just proved my point. So you see how under Trump it was rising, but why did it fall under Biden? So pull up that chart back again. Don't hide. We don't want to see your face, Dean. Pull the chart back up.
Okay.
Why did it start falling under Biden? Please tell me. From 2023.
From 2023 until 2024? Who knows?
Till 2025.
So what I do know, it actually stayed the same in 2025. I don't know why they represent that as if it's going down, because it's 7% in each.
So I can give you an actual variable that shows why it jumped under Biden, and it's clear. I can give you another source that shows this is why. The COVID pandemic PPP loans.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, so you think that it jumped under Biden for some reason unrelated to the Biden administration. Okay, that's fine. But this still doesn't mean that there was more investment under Trump like you said there was, you liar.
So could you read out that first paragraph right before the table? Could you read it out for the viewers?
Shows SBA loans approved for black entrepreneurs. These shares increase on average from 2017 to 2025, but remain low compared to the share of black population in 2025. 6.5% of black-owned business owners were approved for a loan, up from around 4% in 2017, but below the high of 8% in 2023.
So think with my brain for a second, a college-educated brain.
Yeah.
Let's actually analyze this. If under Trump, we saw black business growth, like the amount of loans being dispersed actually increasing, right? 4%, and it was moving steady, slowly increasing. Then it reached a peak under Biden, and then it started dropping between 2024 and 2025.
Hey, who was president in 2025?
The data hasn't fully accounted for that yet.
Wait. According to Brookings, it certainly has. Who's president in 2025?
President in 2025 was Trump.
Okay. So just to clarify. Okay. So just to clarify that it went, well, I mean, then you had me read that paragraph and it actually says there that it dropped by 0.5%. I don't know why they wouldn't represent that on the graph, but okay. That paragraph says that it dropped by 0.5%. So actually what it seems like here is that if we look at the entirety of the Trump administration, comes in at 4%, leaves at somewhere between 3.5% and 4%, but lower than 4%, because I think this point is a bit lower than that point. Then we look at the Biden and Harris administration, up, stabilizes to 7% in 2024. Trump walks in, goes down by 0.5%. We see that there was better investment under Biden. And now this will be a really easy argument for me to make, because, sir, you have wasted your time in this live arguing correlation causation fallacies.
If I, as a voter, see better investment under Trump and worse investment under Biden, then I can just assume that Trump's going to be better.
In fact, you even called me a nerd for suggesting that you had to prove his policy caused this increase that we saw under his administration. You said,
Dean, you keep on telling me that, well, I need proof for my claim. I can just do a correlation causation fallacy. I'm very highly college educated. Well, so therefore you're a nerd?
Okay. Well, let's just assume all of that logic real quick. As the average voter, okay, because I saw less businesses approved for SBAs under Trump, okay, and more businesses approved for SBA loans under Biden, okay, seems like Kamala Harris, okay, Biden's VP, okay, would have been a bit better for those SBA loans, okay. It's a simple correlation causation, okay, that's right. It's a very simple correlation causation. You better not tell me that's a fallacy or I'll call you a nerd, okay. Okay, you got it? As the average voter, you got it?
Yeah, so you just ran away from the point to go on a rant. Like, you said it yourself. that from 2024 to 25 it stayed the same. So the only real drop we saw was from
No, that's not true. It went down by 0.5%. Yo, chill out. It went down by 0.5%.
Okay, 0.5%. That's the hill you're gonna. All right. So the only real big drop we saw was from 2023 to 2024. Could you remind me who was in office? I'm just a dumb college person. Could you remind me?
Yeah, of course. After going up by 4%, it went down by 1%. So I have a question. If something goes up by 4%, then goes down by 1%, holistically, when we look at the entirety of the ups and downs, did it in total go up or did it in total go down?
It in total went down. But I can.
You fucking idiot! No! You're supposed to be college educated! You're supposed to be college educated! No! It did not go down! No! If I put $4 into my bank account, okay, and then I spend $1 from my bank account balance went up. Why? Because I added more than I subtracted.
Okay, so we talked about variables earlier. I don't know if you know what that word means. So I can give you a source.
Thank you so much for the wolf. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. What do you think? What do you thank Tina? Oh, thank you for thanking Tina for the wolf. Thank you. Same thing to you, Abby. Thank you for the $15 over on Venmo.
He says,
"Chat of you,
we have manners when we get grifted."
Release a 10. Okay, yeah. You think I'm a grifter?
I 100% believe that. So
I 100% think that you're jealous. Now, sit down and shut up while I thank Abby for the $15 donation, okay? Abby, thank you for the $15 donation. I appreciate you. Let's get 150 Abby W's down below in that chat. That is ABI. Same thing too. Oh my God, Phil, thank you so much for the $60 donation on Venmo. Yo, bro, thank you so much, Phil. I want to see 600 Phil W's down below in that chat. Phil, that is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for that love and support. Show some love to Phil down below in that chat for the 60 big ones. He says, I don't know if you've been doing this or not, but you should ask these cult members how much their gas prices are and how they feel about it. Long-time listener and donor, keep being a true patriot, bro. Phil, you have been watching for fucking eons. Legit. Okay? I appreciate you so much for that love, brother. Show some love to the GOAT Phil down below in that chat. Same thing to Tyler. Thank you so much for the $20 who says, can you get Tom Stayer on your show? Happy Tuesday, Tyler. I don't even know who that is. Let's get 200 W's in that chat for Tyler. Summer with a $10 who says, why did I see a newspaper today saying that Iran killed Charlie Kirk? Dead ass. What newspaper? That's wild. Gina, thank you for the $10 as a weekly DNC payment. Case, thank you for the 5. Summer, thank you for the 10. I appreciate you guys. Show some love to all the donors down below. You know what? Can you take a moment real quick and just thank all those donors?
Thank you to all the supporters of the Griff. We really support you guys. Thank you for the 373 points. And I see that you brought your token up here to get spent.
You are such a fucking dick. You are just such a dick. You know that?
It's super weird that the first thing he thinks of is like spanking me. But whatever. I've been listening to Dean Dog walk you this entire time. Like, it's been hilarious. Actually, I've been here from the very beginning. And I heard you floundering with your FBA points, and then as soon as he like debunked all of your talk when it comes to immigrants, undocumented immigrants, you tried to pivot, and you've just been like spinning this. It's actually been hilarious to watch you flounder.
No, yeah, he's been floundering the whole time. I know. Terry, thank you for the $35 who says for dunking on the gas. Dude, I got paid $35 because I beat you. Thank you for the $35, Terry. Let's get 350 Terry W's. That is Terry. Thank you so very much for that love and support. Same thing to Calvin. Thank you for the 5. Beatrice, thank you for the 3. And Gabby, thank you so much for the $50. Saying, hey, Dean, here's your $50 DNC payment. Dean's neurotherapy collection. Every dollar helps Dean regain one lost brain cell from debating these morons. From Gabby. Gabby, you're funny as hell. Appreciate you for the $50. That is beyond kind. That is so much fucking money. Let's show some love to Gabby down below in that chat for the 50. Same thing to you, Olivia. Thank you for the $20 from the DNC. W's for the DNC in that chat. Thank you for the $20. You are awesome. I really appreciate you. William, thank you for the 5. And Fussy, thank you for the 8. If you want to support me, if you want to support the show, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. They're also in the pinned message on YouTube, and the handle is right there. It's literally my name, Dean Withers, without the Ian Withers. It is a great way to ask a question or to get a message across, and it just generally is what supports the stream, keeps us doing it for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, Child of Sunlight 05. Can you breathe?
Yeah, I can breathe pretty well.
Okay, take a breath, please. Breathe, because you're very clearly upset.
No, I'm very calm.
No, breathe. Take a breath.
I know I'm an angry black man, and Santana came on here to be a token, but it's okay, Dean. I'm not gonna hurt you.
I actually want to ask you about that. Why is the first thing that you recognize about Santana the moment he joins the live is race?
Yeah. He's been deflecting this entire time. Listen, this is what happens when you have nothing. He lacks substance, and so he's grasping for straws.
I know.
Like, that's all it is.
Like, bro, like, we're not even talking about, like the FBA shit anymore. Like, nope. I got past that. I debunked that silly bullshit. Yep. We're just talking about, like, economics. Like, Santana didn't even, like, join the stream at a moment where we were talking about issues as relevant to the black community, and you're still calling him a token?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the biggest ones on here. I've seen his things time to time.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you're a fan. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
No, I'm in college. I don't have time to be a fan of you.
It's fine. You can just admire me. It's okay. It's okay to enjoy what I do. You don't have to lash out. It's okay.
So back to those variables, Dean. So I have a source that can give you a variable as to why it jumped.
Is it like, Santana, you got to let me know if I'm out of bounds with this, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's very possible that what I'm about to say could be out of bounds, so call me out if it is. Mm-hmm. I feel like if this guy was white, he would be a raging white supremacist.
Oh, no. You totally clocked that he was parroting white supremacy talking points. Like when you said that earlier, like the way that he was repackaging the points to try to disparage immigrants, specifically like black immigrants, that's all FBA does. Like they have no idea that they're parroting white supremacy talking points. Actually, there's a theory that the idea of FBA is literally just a plant for white supremacy. So no, you're spot on.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I could imagine if like a white man was saying many of the things that this guest was saying, like they would be racist as fuck. Like they would be in that like Fuentes crowd of incel groypers who just
and the way he had no idea who Nick Fuentes is, but he was like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like, yeah, he is, because you guys said the same shit, because you guys are parroting the same talking points.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna fall for the race bait. Back to those variables.
You made it about Santana's race the second he joined.
Literally.
The second dude, the fucking picosecond. Dude cams up, you see he's a black man, fucking token. The first thing you said.
Literally.
So back to the variables, because I'm educated, so let's focus on those variables. I have a source that shows that the actual reason for the increase during the Biden administration. Do you have one?
No.
Okay, so give me a hypothesis. Why do you think it jumped during the Biden administration through those years?
Pandemic expenditure for approval of new loans, which I would assume would also include SBAs.
Correct, specifically in metropolitan areas, democratically ran metropolitan areas like Miami, New York, Washington, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas, Philly, Minneapolis, like all Charlotte, Chicago. Like all of these areas are specifically the areas where it boomed.
Yeah, so from a useful brain, I would think, okay, so Biden's jump was due to that. What was Trump's jump due to?
We didn't see a jump under the Trump administration. We didn't.
And to be fair, I mean, if you take a look at the growth that happened prior to Donald Trump, I mean, the fact that Barack Obama had 75 straight months of job growth, propelled the actual need for additional businesses. Oh, he's gone.
Listen, I kicked him. Bro, I'm not going to lie. Listen, I've been doing this debate thing for a long time. When people will spend extended periods of time trying to argue an affirmation of correlation causation fallacies, just like over it.
I can't believe he admitted that that's what he was about to do and then tried to do it anyway. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's just like an old trick, okay? When you like listen to a song one too many times and you don't really care for it anymore. That's like, arguing that you can make correlation causation fallacies is that song for me. It's like, okay, you're boring. DP, do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, DP, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, man, give me one moment here. I got to thank Michael. Thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Michael, thank you so much for the love. Please do show some love to Michael down below in that chat. Thank you so very much, man. Let's get 500 Michael W's down below. I appreciate you so much. Please do show some love to Michael down below, dude. I thank you so much for supporting me and what we do here. Same thing to Dwayne. Thank you for the $20. Who says, thank you for giving me something to listen to while going to work. This shit makes me giggle. I appreciate you for the $20, Dwayne. You are awesome, my friend. Show some love to Dwayne and Michael down below in that comment section. On PayPal, we got another Michael here with the $25 who says, Dean, you won this debate with a collar. As usual, you prove yourself to be dominant over so-called college-educated Americans. I appreciate you for the $24, Michael. Yeah, I mean, well, it's because I've spent the last couple of years of my life doing hyper-specific education.
Which one did you make?
At minimum, $3 billion a day. I am the richest man alive.
Shit out.
No, truly. Oh, and all that money, I make sure to send it to PACs to suppress worker wages and get rid of those unions. They're pretty pesky. You know, how to pay my editor $3 an hour instead of $2 an hour because of that for a couple months. I hated it. Oh, then I also send them to mega conglomerate infrastructure manufacturing plants where their CO2 emissions are just off the charts. I give them an additional $5 billion a year for additional CO2 emissions,
You must have Mexican workers.
Wow.
Are you Mexican?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. All right. Weird comment, but, whatever. Go ahead.
You have no idea, anything that has to be going on with, you're not a network penetration tester.
Can you repeat that?
You're muffled.
You're not a network penetration tester.
I'm not a network penetration tester?
Yeah.
Is that what you are?
You're not good with computers. You have no idea what's going on with the world.
I mean, I was in a life before this, I was a full stack web developer, so.
Nah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be this.
No, I did.
I think you're looking for market penetration when you're talking about Trump, not network penetration.
Like a network.
Two different things.
I don't know. He said about computers. I don't know, like a network penetration. Are you a white hat?
Black hat.
Okay, I don't know what any of this has to do with politics. You know what? Just tell us why you support Trump. That was weird.
All right.
We've been getting some weirdos up today, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've been listening the whole time. It's been funny. I'm glad to see someone else get it besides me.
Bro, oh my God. We had a straight up pedophile join the live earlier.
I've been listening the whole time. I heard him. I heard him. He got really comfortable.
Yeah, that was nuts. Honestly, that was crazy. Wow. Hey, Mr. Exclusive, do you support Trump? Not here. Yeah, for everybody that wasn't
No, I don't. I'm from South Africa, man.
Base. For everybody who wasn't in the live earlier, we had somebody come up and argue that some 13-year-old girls are really mature and could consent to sex. It was the craziest thing ever. It was crazy.
That was after the man-child who wouldn't let you speak, right?
Yeah, man. Way too many pedophiles. Yeah. Does anybody in here? Is anybody watching familiar with Hello or whatever? I've been following that. Some major Lux Maxine TikToker got exposed for consuming CSAM, and at first he all denied it, and then his girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, who exposed him, started to get a lot of shit from the terribly toxic black pill community. But then Gideon was able to get this guy's trust. Very barbaric, but it worked. Gideon went on his Discord and was like, Hello's completely innocent. There's no issue with this whatsoever. It's a nothing burger. No, he's not a pedophile, basically. He's innocent, basically. Mm-hmm. And then because of that, Gideon was able to get an in-person interview with Hulo. And during the span of this 2-hour interview, got him to admit to it. and this guy was like admitting to like, you know, masturbating to CSAM. It was crazy.
Fucking
it was super
insane.
crazy. Yeah, man. You know, I got a lot of respect for Gideon on that. He has been very effective at trying to help keep our streets clean. I got a lot of respect for Gideon because of that. A lot of respect. We're gonna try to get that next guest loaded up into the box, folks. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Everybody in the chat asking what CSAM is. It's child sexual assault material. It is CP. But, you know, we don't really use CP anymore. Child porn, because it's not porn. It's sexual assault. Sexual abuse material. Yep. We're going to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Only hop inside of that queue if you are MAGA. And there's still a lot of people defending this idiot. Like, there's just straight up people who be like, Hulo is God. You know, he's awesome. I don't know.
Advice sometimes is just shut up.
Wow, you're very angry.
Really?
Can I give you some advice?
African said.
Can I give you some advice?
Yeah?
Scroll.
Listening.
If you want me to
my fucking country built most of you people.
If you want me to shut up, you can. You could just scroll. I'll shut up. It's that easy.
Yeah, I've got the history buildings. You shut up.
Okay, you can make me shut up by scrolling. So scroll.
President like that. More said. Okay.
I'm just gonna help this. I'm gonna help this guy out.
Yes.
I'm gonna help you out, buddy. There you go. So, on your phone screen, hit a little scroll, just like that. All of a sudden, I'm here. You could hear me. I'm yapping. I'm not here.
Gone.
Very easy. Gone.
It costs nothing to not watch.
Yeah, just like that, bro. Gotta help him out, man. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up in the box. Only hop inside of that queue of your MAGA, please, and thank you for all the rules. We just lost viewers because of that. I didn't think about that one ahead of time. I probably shouldn't be directing people on how to leave the live. That's a bad thing for me to do. Probably shouldn't do that.
It might be testing it. They'll be back.
Oh, they are. Yeah. We just lost 100 viewers, then gained 100 viewers.
Just testing it.
That's funny. That's funny. That's really great. All right, let's go to try to get that next guest loaded up in the box right now. Only up inside of the queue if you are MAGA. Welcome into eSport Trump. Oh, this person's not here, folks. We're already at over 4 hours. We realistically should be ending, but I'm going to try to do one last guess for you guys.
Hi, Dylan. Do you support Trump?
Oh, okay. Then I just want to say one thing.
But what,
with
Dylan,
the
do you support
Gideon
Trump? Dylan?
and the Alex Rosen stuff.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, but I just want to make a comment about the Alex Rosen and Gideon situation.
Well, no. The topic is about Trump. Why do you support Donald Trump?
Well, I'm not here to debate Trump or not.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm gonna drop you, but before I do,
Okay, well then watch.
My bad. I got him before you could say something. Quick trigger. Sorry,
bro. You're good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean, I've been like weirdly invested into like this whole discovery, so I was down to hear what he had to say. But welcome in, Jordy. Sport Trump.
Dean, what flavor's your vape, bro?
Banned. Moving on to Sierra. Here we go. Where did Sierra go? I just saw her in the queue. Maybe it's just time to end. Quite frankly.
You know, it is time to shut the fuck up.
Oh, ain't it, Rick? Ain't it? It's time to shut the fuck up.
I think what he wanted to tell you is that Alex Rosen is a raging racist and Gideon is affiliated with him. Still to this day, he's a raging racist.
Oh, damn.
You can look into it if you want, I promise you.
Well, I
Go
appreciate
ahead.
you for letting me know, Rick.
Yeah, but how about you end that stream and shut that shit up?
You want me to shut that shit up, Rick?
Oh, yeah.
I got one word.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, one word, Rick.
Are you trying to order farm, Dane?
You know what that one word's going to be, Rick?
What is your name?
Fem boys.
Woo! You know how I feel about them fanboys, Dan.
Oh, you've endorsed it, Rick. Remember?
No.
Remember the first time you came up here? You were like, "No, I don't like." But now you're.
I said you know how I feel about them.
How do you feel about them fit boys, Rick?
I can't stand him.
Oh, yeah, you can't stand them.
I can't stand him.
Because you don't stand around them. You're on your knees, Rick.
I stand around them all the time. I stand around them
so they're the ones not standing?
They're always around me. They're like an invasive species.
Okay, because they're just always around you wherever you go?
All in public and go to Chicago. There's femboys in the street.
You always
They even
find
took over
yourself around the
Southside
femboys.
Chicago. There's femboy gangsters.
And you're always with them, right? They tuck you into bed at night.
Yeah. No, not into bed.
Oh, Rick. Listen, man. They love you and you love them. Okay.
Hey,
Let's go.
I had a black guy come up on my live this morning and debate that colonization was a good thing.
Dude, come on, brother. Are we joking?
Oh, he was dead ass serious. He said, "I'm a bit of a eugenicist myself." What?
Dude. Yeah, the crazies are out today, man. Crazies are out today. Smack, are you one of the crazies?
Hey, what's up, racist Santana? What's up, Dean?
Oh, he's one of the crazies. Wow.
Hey. How's the jujitsu in your mom's basement doing, Santana? I know you proclaimed you did that last time we were here.
Jujitsu? I don't do jujitsu.
In your mom's basement. What do you do? Remember you were trying to talk about how you do mixed martial arts in your mom's basement or something?
No, Bub. I said I've taken a lot of different, fighting. It has nothing to do with anything. Hey, why are you fascinated with me?
I got you, bro.
Super interesting.
I'm just fucking with you.
No, it's all good.
Hey, Smack.
You remember me, Dean?
No. Are the gas prices going up or down?
On average, over terms year, they're actually lower than Biden's, right?
Over the course of the last 12 months? So you're saying that 12 months ago.
4 years and you look at Trump's 1 year and you take the average of the two, it's called simplest math. They're actually lower. Do you disagree or agree?
Well, I mean, I think that
the answer is you agree. The answer is you agree because that's what's correct.
The answer is I'm not clear because I haven't looked at the data. But I would assume that if it were to be higher.
Real quick. Do you want to look at it?
No, because I'll just assume that you're telling the truth.
No, because you're wrong. That's why. Next question.
No, because I'll assume that you're telling the truth. I'll assume that the 4-year average for Trump was high, for Biden was higher than the 1-year average over the course of the last 12 months.
You know I'm telling the truth, but we can move on.
Well, I'm assuming that you are because I haven't looked at the data.
Here's the position you should take. The delta is actually higher with Trump. The average is not higher. So that's what you should actually say. If you want to, let me help you defend your argument.
Well, how about this? Here's what I'll say. If we were to look at the 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration and look at the gas price average, and if it were to be higher than it has been over the course of the last 12 months, the reason why it'd be higher was, of course, because of the OPEC 2020 deal, which reduced their output by 10%, in conjunction with supply chain shortages and shutdowns onset by the pandemic, refineries across the world going out of business, and in conjunction with us sanctioning Russian oil because of their invasion of Ukraine, cutting us off from another 25% of the global supply. These co-founding variables outside of the control of Biden, of course, increased the price of gas to $5 on average for a singular day. Okay.
Did you want to talk about the Keystone Pipeline?
But the Keystone Pipeline didn't impact the price of gas because it wasn't in effect.
Absolutely did. Absolutely.
No, it was still under construction.
So you're telling me 2 months after Biden became president, gas just so happened to go up $2 a gallon?
Wait, I think to be clear, you do understand there's a difference between Keystone and Keystone XL, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it didn't just so happen to go up. It went up for many of the reasons that I just shared. Now, if we were to look at 2 months into his term, the reason why gas would start to go up there is because that was a couple months after the OPEC 2020 deal took effect. That was right as the refineries were shutting down because of the pandemic. That was as we started to stop getting the oil tankers and shipments from OPEC in the Middle East. And then, of course, that was compounded for the later skyrocketing prices in 2022 from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But yeah, no, shutting down the development of the Keystone XL pipeline didn't increase the price of gas because it was still under construction, which meant it wasn't piping oil to America, which meant it wasn't impacting the supply curve.
They're called oil trusts.
Which meant it wasn't impacting the supply curve.
So I don't think you understand. Gas companies, they do predictions on what they're going to be able to make on their gas prices. If you get a president in that's going to shut down pipelines,
who shut down the Keystone XL?
Biden did.
No, you're wrong.
Who shut it down?
Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court shut down the Keystone XL?
Yes, the Supreme Court ruled that the Keystone XL actually could not be continue because of the pollutions that will go into the indigenous lands.
You got sat down, Smack. Get cooked.
Exactly.
Keystone
Also,
pipeline canceled after Biden revokes permits.
Hold on. Let me finish.
No, I'm not getting cooked either, dude. Dude's reading it off of a computer screen. Let's be fair. And he's getting
I'm not
liberal
reading
notations.
anything.
That's what you're doing. You do the same thing Dean does. Dean's got 15 computer screens open. Oh, now you're looking at me, Dean. You got 15 computer screens open, and you're doing your little liberal Google.
As I was saying,
to act like you're college educated, like you told the last guy, right? But let's go on. Because I'm reading right here. President Joe Biden shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, projecting revoking its key permits.
Wait, is that what he said? I thought he said
Office,
last guy.
January 2021. I'm reading it right here, bro. Do the same thing you're doing.
Hold on for
I'll
2
go on
seconds.
mute, dog. Go
One,
ahead.
not reading anything. One, it was actually shut down by the Supreme Court under the Trump administration. He just actually didn't stop it. Biden came in and he had to enforce it because, again, indigenous people sued and said that it would pollute the land.
Right.
But the Supreme Court for Canada, which that's where the pipeline, comes from.
Because he had to. That was the enforcement mechanism. Let's just clarify this real quick. So the Biden-Harris administration revoking the permits was the enforcement mechanism that was legally mandated to take place due to the SCOTUS ruling. Also, Smack, I have a question. Have you ever tried smoking weed before, man?
Good question. Yeah, I did some of the stuff that like makes you sleep, but I'm more of an upper man, especially with my job and stuff.
Oh yeah,
so.
We could tell you're a bit more of an upper man. I think that you should try some of the downers though.
I just don't like the way it messes my brain, to be honest with you.
I think it probably
it slows it.
I think that might help you out a little bit, Smack.
Look, I'm not like this in real life. I just don't want to be disingenuous about things. You guys are looking at computers. You guys are Googling everything I'm saying. And the moment I'm saying, you guys are coming up with questions. I work a full-time job as an engineer, so I don't have all this information like you guys have. And then I watch you shit on a guy before me and you talk about his college education. The guy's going to college, bro. You sit here all day on a live with 13 different screens open combating people. So let's be fair. You're not more intelligent. It's just what you do consistently. And you're not a famous person. You're famous with white, fat, liberal white women.
Wow.
Jesus fucking hell. Wow. Okay. So to respond to the first point that you made, I was shitting on him for not having a college education. No, I was throwing the shit he threw at me back at him. He said I didn't have a college education. I was just parroting whatever he said. Literally, if he would say something to me, then I would turn around and throw it back on him. It pissed him off. It was funny. Now, to your second point, you said I wasn't famous. I don't think I'm famous. In fact, it was the last guest that called me famous. Now, to your third point of just calling every member of the audience a fat liberal white woman, I mean, yeah, this is just an intersection of your various prejudices flourished into one egregious claim. Yeah, I understand that the MAGA movement hinges on owning the libs, and you guys fucking hate women. You guys fucking hate fat people. So as long as you think all the libs that you're owning are white, fat women, okay, well then all of a sudden, you know, you have the wet dream of every 65-year-old white man with less than 30 brain cells that's ever lived. But like still yet it doesn't make it true. Okay, I would argue that the live stream of this audience is incredibly diverse. People of all sizes, people of all genders, all sexes, all races, because truth is not exclusive to one size, one race, one gender, or one sex. Unlike MAGA will tell you how the white man is the truth, and we just need to shit on everybody who isn't. This is why we need to allow DHS to racially profile immigrants. This is why we need to take refugee status away from countries that are disproportionately black and brown. And this is why we need to actually give expedited refugee status to countries that are disproportionately white, like South Africa. You're a mess. You're a mess, Mac.
Also, I just want to call out really quickly. Shout out to all my black people in the chat watching, because you rubbed the black people in the chat the wrong way. You got people in the comments saying they're black AF, Smack. So as representation for the black people here, no, it's not all liberal white women.
I'm trolling y'all, and I obviously I know it's not all white liberal white women. I'm joking with you, dude. It's a joke.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that to get under your skin.
Yeah, a joke, a true joke told like the jester you are.
Well, it looks like you guys got pretty reactive to it. So thanks for the reaction.
Wait, so I just want to clarify. I reacted to the claim that you made by proving it wrong. Nice. Yeah, that's what debaters do. I don't know if this is your first day on Earth. Holy shit. Fuck.
All right, next topic. What?
Yeah.
Also, you're talking about how Trump.
Really quickly, I just want to say, Ashley, thank you for the 25 for the help with purchasing those 13 screens. I don't have 13 yet, but I'm going to put that 25 towards the 13 screens. So,
Bro,
we can,
you got the screens up with all the tabs, and you're googling stuff as soon as I talk because you were incorrect with the first thing.
Want to watch this?
I was
Check this
absolutely
out.
correct.
Make a claim that you think I wouldn't be able to debunk unless I actively had a screen in front of me to Google it.
Exactly.
Sure.
After I put the blanket over my head.
Yeah, who has the highest murder rate in America?
About the Trump administration, please. I don't know what you're laughing at. The topic of the live stream is why you support Trump. Like an argument insofar as why you think that Trump is a good...
going into women's bathrooms or locker rooms, and apparently he said it on Howard
Not apparently,
Stern.
he did.
He said he went into... No, he didn't. Perfect.
Yes, he did.
Good point. Let's play it, because I beat you here. He did
Well,
not
in
go
order
into
for me to
women's
play it, I'm going to
bathrooms
need to
or
take
locker
the
rooms.
blanket
I have
off
the
my
script
head
right
and look
here.
at a screen.
I have the script right here.
Like, dude, the point of this... The point of this demonstration was supposed to be one
The point of it is, if you don't have a computer in front of you, you can't debate me. He went backstage. He
But
didn't
you
go into
asked
women's
me
locker
to
room.
play a clip that would necessitate I have a computer in front of me.
Okay, I just debunked you, dude.
What did you debunk me
One,
on?
Dean 0.
What did
I
you
think he
debunk
didn't
me
go
on?
into women's locker rooms. He
I think
didn't go.
this is a tracking
He didn't go into
issue.
women's bathrooms. He went backstage.
Wait,
he
do
says
you?
it in his own,
Wait,
in his
Smack,
own
do you
content.
understand what you were supposed to be doing?
He doesn't.
Yeah,
I think you just
I just
confused.
debunked you. I won like immediately. I said,
how?
Prove that Trump went into women's locker rooms whenever
I
he
can
owned a
prove it.
pageant.
I can
You
prove
weren't
it.
able to.
Yeah, I can prove it.
Go
You
to
want
what
to
he said. You can't go through he said, she said. Go through the facts and the data.
Okay, here's a first fact. He said that he went into a place where no men were around. Here's the second fact. He said in this place, there were women with no clothes on that were changing. The third fact is that he said in order to get into this space, he had to abuse the fact that he was the owner of it and had to tell a lie of a false inspection in order to get in. And the fourth fact is that he said he'd get away with it. And to get away with something means that you break a rule without facing any consequences. Now, the fifth fact is that we
So with that
also
logic,
had
you're saying it's a
around
bathroom?
one,
It's a
one
locker
moment.
room?
One moment.
That's a
is that we had around 6. Well, every woman or girl that spoke out and said that this happened to them said that it happened in the dressing rooms, even the women who were defending him. Now, clearly, the first 4 facts are going to be the description of dressing rooms that are backstage, and then the fifth fact is just going to be further corroborating evidence that demonstrates even the women who were defending him, like Victoria Hughes, did so with an acknowledgement that this occurred in the dressing rooms. Just said he asked for permission first. In consideration of those 5 facts, we know that they were indeed dressing rooms. Go ahead.
So if you took those 5 facts in front of a judge and you said, well, he went into a room where he wasn't supposed to go, you have 3 people said he went there, therefore he went into a dressing room, you would think the judge would agree with you?
You missed the other 4 points.
Okay.
Sorry,
so
3 points.
Okay, you don't need to repeat them.
And
With
do I
those
think a
other
judge would
4
agree with me?
points, You
Yes.
think that's enough evidence to convict him of going into a woman's bathroom?
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah, no, it's
Women's
not.
dressing room.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
prove it.
No, it's not. But here's how I prove it. I prove he's innocent until proven guilty. So
Okay,
if
I
he
just
says,
proved him
yes,
guilty.
I went backstage, I own the freaking pageant. Yes, I broke the rule because in pageants you have rules. Yes, people were undressing because it's a backstage of a pageant. Do you see we can play this game all day, Dean? You can angle something the way you want.
The
but
reason-
people are
here-
not
here's
guilty.
why your
Hold
angle
on, I'm not
fails.
done talking. I just let you finish. The
No.
reason
And I guess I'm interrupting you. Womp womp. Here's why your angle fails. It's because he said that there is no men anywhere. Why would there be no men anywhere if it was a general backstage area? Better yet, better question. Why would he feel the need to say there was no men anywhere? Because the way that he said it made it seem like it was implied. He said it
Dean,
very
what show-
confidently and under the breath. He said, there's no men anywhere. Okay, like
Dean, what
almost
show was he on?
we should know there was no men anywhere. As
What-
if it
what
was in a
sh-
space where men weren't allowed. And he seemed to kind of build off of this suggestion that men weren't allowed there by saying that in order to get in, he had to go in as the owner under the guise of doing a false inspection. You wouldn't
Just to
need
be
to
clear,
enter in
Dean,
under the
was
guise
he in
of doing
front
a
of a
false
judge, or what show was
inspection.
he on? What show was he on, Dean? Just to be clear,
Well,
was he in front of a
Miss
judge when he
Universe,
said
Miss
that?
Teen USA, Miss USA?
What show was he on when he said
He was
these
talking
things?
to his buddy Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
I would actually
First off,
I
you're
would
on the
make a
Howard
point that
Stern
that's
show, that's
more
all you
damning
say.
than being in front of a judge. Donald Trump has testified multiple times and invoked the fifth, but he felt free to actually speak in front of Howard Stern because
if you're in front of a judge, you know you're being on trial for something. In front of Howard Stern,
the point
you're
that I'm saying
joking
is he
around.
spoke more freely because he wasn't in threat of actually perjuring himself.
I just showed both of you guys.
I'd like to show you a clip. I'd like to show you a clip.
Are you gonna play the video where he said he went backstage and not into a woman's locker room?
Nope, I'm gonna show you this clip. Okay, I want you to watch this clip, okay? And I want you to tell me the conclusion that you form about this person, okay? Okay, and this man right here who's asking this person the questions is not a judge, all right?
Listen, no more child porn, right? Last time? Okay. Never gonna do that again. No, sir. We learned our lesson? My man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for taking accountability.
And we did download those videos, right? We did download those videos, but we deleted them? Okay, fine. And you admitted everything to police? Okay. And all the allegations were true, right?
Not all, but some, yes.
Okay, well the child porn stuff was true, right?
Okay, let's go ahead and pause it there. So now that we understand that this man on the right is not a judge, okay, and this man in the center is just telling this random guy on the right these things, can we agree from what he said we could reasonably determine that he's a pedophile?
Yeah.
Did he explicitly say he was a pedophile?
Hold on. Okay. So you got one guy.
Answer the question. Did he explicitly use the words, "I am a pedophile"?
This isn't the same context that Trump was in.
Answer the question.
Trump was sitting
just
on
please,
stage
let me build the argument.
talking about-
Let me build the argument. Did the man in the center
you know the answer to the,
that
you know the answer
you
to the question.
agreed?
He didn't say
okay.
that.
Okay. So then here are the two facts because you just affirmed it. We've just affirmed that this man is not a judge. And this man never explicitly said word for word that he's a pedophile. Yet we were able to conclude that this man is a pedophile because he told this man that he'd watched CP. Perfect. Even though this man isn't a judge. Very similarly, when we're looking towards the Howard Stern clip of Donald Trump, sure, he's saying those things to Howard Stern, but Howard Stern's not a judge. Okay, neither is Gideon. And he never used the words dressing room, but he said a private space where men weren't allowed, that he was breaking a rule by entering where there's naked women inside changing. Okay, so we could reasonably conclude that he was talking about a dressing room. So even though he never explicitly used the phrase dressing room, and the person that he was telling it to was not a judge,
That's a fallacy.
we still know that Donald Trump barged
Dude, I'm going to
into these
disagree
dressing
with you
rooms.
100%. No, we can't reasonably conclude. He owns the pageant. He's going backstage. Obviously, people are going to be undressing and dressing. People aren't allowed back there because it's a pageant.
I
Every
reject that
pageant
assumption.
I've ever been to has been blocked off.
Prove that assumption.
No, we cannot conclude that.
Prove that assumption. Prove that assumption. Prove
I don't
that...
need to. It's innocent until proven guilty.
No. You made an assumption, i.e. a positive claim that you need to prove, okay? A part of your refutation of the evidence I gave you to demonstrate his guilt was that obviously there would be naked women changing in the general backstage area. Prove that assumption by giving me sufficient evidence to demonstrate that at the beauty pageants Donald Trump owned, there was very typically naked women changing in the general backstage areas away from the private-only dressing rooms.
So Google Donald Trump pageant backstage. The first thing that will come up is a woman in a bathing suit.
Because they were bathing suit because they were bathing suit pageants.
What did he say to Howard Stern?
No. Because they were bathing suit pageants. That's not getting changed into a bathing suit. That is wearing a bathing suit. Give me evidence that they were getting changed.
Also, do you think Smack, do you think the search engine Google is just gonna have random pictures of naked women if you're just Googling things? That's not how search engines work.
I'm proving to you that backstage at a beauty pageant, you
didn't prove that.
Women in half of Google. Do I really need to
you're
Google
proving
it?
that they were backstage wearing the apparel that they would be wearing on stage. Okay, that doesn't prove that they would get changed into that apparel backstage. Prove that they would get changed into that apparel backstage. Smackdown!
You're blocking me, dude. You're blocking me. And I just pulled up the first picture, backstage beauty
I'm gonna
pageant
have to
Trump,
repeat it for a
and
third
there's
time. That's
four
fine.
different women in bathing suits. Four
Okay,
different women
yeah,
in bathing suits.
because
And
that's
there's
the
no
apparel
men.
that they would
By the
wear
way,
on
let me
stage.
let me clarify this.
That's
There
the
are
apparel
no
that they
men
wear
in
on
any of these
stage.
photos backstage.
That's the apparel that they would wear on stage. Prove your assumption that they would get changed into that apparel backstage, because that's a claim you made.
Because backstage is where the dressing room is.
Wait. If backstage is where the dressing room is, you're saying that that we could prove that they'd get changed backstage because that's where the dressing rooms were. So you are admitting that Donald Trump went into the dressing rooms.
Nope. What I said was there are dressing rooms backstage. Backstage and dressing rooms are not the same thing.
Okay, so then prove that they got prove that they got changed in the general backstage area.
Guess what else is backstage?
Okay, so then
there's a lot of backstage items.
Wait. So then, just by pointing out that the dressing rooms were backstage, unless you're saying the dressing rooms were where they were getting dressed, bringing up the fact that the dressing rooms were backstage doesn't prove that they wouldn't get changed in the dressing rooms, but would rather get changed in the general backstage area. Because quite frankly, you pointing out that the dressing rooms are backstage doesn't prove your claim; it proves mine. Because it makes perfect sense, therefore, why Donald Trump would say he'd go backstage first.
Also, I just want to call out the fact that the one thing.
But you just said it yourself. The dressing rooms are backstage. Go ahead.
They are backstage.
Exactly.
Which is why I go backstage.
The one thing that hasn't been highlighted enough is if you pull up the Miss Universe, Miss Teen USA, Miss USA handbook and the guidelines, it talks about the people that are permitted backstage. And when it comes to the actual people accompanying the actual contestants, men aren't allowed. The only people that are allowed.
You're helping my point, Santana. You're helping my point, buddy.
You're not listening,
Dean made the claim that they're going into private places. They're going into he's going into backstage. You just claimed that men are not allowed backstage.
No, you have to stop. You have to stop talking for 2 seconds to hear what we're saying.
That men are not allowed backstage.
Wait,
and he went. I'll go on mute. I'll go on mute.
Wait, Santana, don't trip. This guy just conceded.
Yes, I know.
Because if men aren't allowed in the place Donald Trump went, even if it was a general backstage area, then the women still had a reasonable expectation of privacy away from men.
That's not
true. So it's still sexual violence.
That's not true.
It is true if men weren't allowed there.
If your rules dictate that men aren't allowed backstage, that doesn't mean women have a reasonable allowance of privacy. That just means
that's exactly what it means.
No,
that's why they can't be
That's
exactly
what
it
means. Are
means.
contingent on the rationale of why you're having the pageant. The pageant does not dictate that.
It does. It does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
You don't know who dictates that.
Answer the following question. Why is it sexual violence if a man barges into a woman's bathroom?
Because they're going into a place that's private to them.
Oh, and in what sense is it private to them? What makes it private to them?
That's where they're going to be using the restroom.
The rule that men aren't allowed, right?
You're making my point because the argument you're making is you're saying backstage is a place
you're
that leads to
making
a pervert.
my
And
point.
anyone who's
You're
in the
making
audience
my
knows
point.
backstage
You just
is not
accepted,
tracking.
okay, that if a man were to barge into a woman's
can everyone
bathroom,
hear me?
it's
Backstage
sexual
is not a
violence
place of
because the women inside of that space have an expectation of privacy because of the rule that men aren't allowed. So because there was a rule that men weren't allowed both in the dressing rooms and backstage, regardless if they were getting dressed in the dressing rooms or backstage, they had the identical same expectation of privacy away from men. Therefore, Donald Trump did engage in sexual violence against them by barging in there in violation of that reasonable expectation of privacy. You just conceded for the first time in your life. I am proud of you, buddy. We're making real progress here.
Mine's still on mute, or
we're making progress.
he went
Clock your
backstage
shit,
at a
kid.
beauty pageant. He went
Yeah,
backstage
where
at
the
a
women
beauty
inside of
pageant.
that place had a reasonable expectation of privacy away
so
from
let's
them
just
for
be
your own
clear. He
admission.
went backstage at a beauty pageant. If that's your reasonable argument to say that he committed a sex crime, then okay, we can disagree to agree. Whatever. I disagree with you. Backstage at a beauty pageant where people are in their bathing suits? No, he owns the freaking pageant. But I'll give you it if that's what you want.
Wait, but you said that the women inside of this space had a reasonable expectation of privacy away from men, right?
In their dressing rooms, not backstage.
Okay, so then why weren't the men not
But
allowed
let's
backstage?
just be clear. The dressing rooms
So then you
are
think that men
backstage.
were allowed
We need to make
backstage,
the
right?
confusion.
Wait, do you agree?
It's all
the
held
only way.
by the rules
no,
of the
Smack. Do you agree the only way women would not have a reasonable expectation of privacy away from men in the general backstage area is if men were allowed back there? Because if men were not allowed back there, then they would have a reasonable expectation of privacy away from men.
Restricted areas backstage are typically limited to the crew and sometimes authorized male, female personnel or managers.
Okay, so then there was no general rule that men weren't allowed, right?
No, there's not. There's not a general
Okay,
rule
so
that
then
men weren't
earlier
allowed.
when you
I'm
told
reading it right
Santana
here.
that he was proving your point by trying to make the argument that there was a rule that men weren't allowed, you were wrong.
I was making the point that there's a general
Damn, you got cooked,
rule
You
in
got
pageantry
cooked,
that
motherfucker.
men from the front stage cannot go backstage.
You got
But I'm showing you
cooked.
here restricted
You got
action
cooked.
backstage are typically limited to male staff,
Well, if
crew.
there's a general rule that men can't go back
staff
there,
and crew can be back there because
Then
it's
they got
the
fucked.
rules
Where
of
are
the-
you getting this general rule from?
Just Google are men allowed backstage or beauty pageant?
Just Google isn't the general, because I'm citing the handbook, and it talks about that privacy that's granted and men can't be back there. So it's like it's
What did you
actually
Google?
outlined in the Miss Universe, Miss America, Miss Teen USA. Like
Let's
it's
pull it up.
outlined in the rule book.
Let's pull it up.
Yo, Wendy, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Let's get 500 Wendy W's down below. Thank you so very much for the love and support. You were awesome, Wendy. Same thing to you, Ron. Thank you for the $20, who says, I have a degree in theater and have worked in plenty of professional theaters. Trump absolutely described a dressing room. Anywhere else backstage, there would be a lot of other people, including
Well, it's a
stage
good thing
hands
he
and crew
explicitly
members.
said backstage
So
and
true.
not a
Thank you
dressing
so
room.
much for the $20.
So that
Remember
you
when you
liberal quacks
explicitly
can't just come up with your own
explicitly said that the dressing rooms were backstage, you fucking moron? You absolute
I did say
idiot.
that.
You fucking nincompoop. So clearly, if he says, I go backstage to then go into this area where men aren't
Clearly, it
allowed, he's
means
saying
he's
that he'd
going-
go backstage to get to the dressing rooms. Get dunked on, Smack.
going
Get
to-
smacked down, you fucking kid. Now allow me to finish thanking my donors. Be quiet, buddy. Ron, thank you for the $20. Be quiet. Be quiet. Thank you for the $20, Ron. Smack down the smack. Thank you so much, Smack. Be quiet, bud. Sit down. Sit down. Daniel, thank you for the $10, who says, on behalf of brown Mexicans in the chat, guest does not get tacos and margs. I appreciate you for the $10, Daniel. Amber, thank you for the $50. Yo, let's get 500 Amber W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for that love, Amber. Amber with a $50 says, for my favorite non-college educated celebrity grifter. Thank you so much for doing all that you do. Well, thank you so much, Amber. I'm so happy I could be your favorite non-college educated celebrity grifter. That is such a token of respect. Thank you so much for the $50. Ashley, thank you so much for the $25 for help with purchasing those 13 screens. Thank you, Ashley. Blair, thank you for the $20 for continuing to debate these idiots. Thank you so much, Blair. And Brooklyn, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Brooklyn, you were so awesome. Thank you so much for that love and support. Let's get 500 Brooklyn W's. Brooklyn with a 50 says, please talk about the prison system. Over 1,500 people have passed away from OD, unnecessary violence from guards, etc. And they've spent over $52 million in settlement against prisons and officers. Less than 20% of them were given parole from 2019 to 2024. You could go to nomorealabama.com. See, that's why privatized prisons suck. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you for the $50.
Just if I could, I don't know if you've had a chance to watch this week, but the topic that we're doing on late nights this week is literally, I have an abolitionist that's been leading the topic, but it's about abolishing police and prisons. So it's been a good one.
When you run that topic, like, you still do endorse some type of enforcement mechanism of the law, right?
Yeah. So the conversation,
Production
which we
staff.
haven't gotten to the point yet, but the conversation is, what would it look like to have like actual rehabilitation, not just a
That's
system
the look
of
of
like
anger on Dean's face. His white liberal face just
Could
crippled
you
up.
please stop for a second?
I'll be
It's
quiet.
the point that we're getting to is like, how do we actually have like actual rehabilitation where we're trying to address the issues while actually integrating people back into society with the skills that they learn, instead of having a system that just creates repeat offenders. So it's a
like
whole
that.
thing. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I think that's a good conversation. I feel like more people would like be more willing to listen to it if you didn't use words like abolish, though.
Yeah,
I guess
but
that's my take.
You gotta hook them in, because you got to get the people interested. But
Sure.
It's been funny. People they're good with the prison part. They're struggling with the police part because they think police are just supposed to do everything. So That's
Yeah.
been the interesting thing.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting equation. Well, if you use the word abolish, you'll get more people in, but at what cost? Because maybe then they'd be less likely to hear you out because they actually think that you want to abolish the programs.
I'm telling you, they've been surprisingly willing to like listen. It's been really interesting.
Oh, awesome. Well, there you go. Christian, thank you for the $25 on PayPal. He says, can anybody track an argument today? Just dumbfounded by every response. Every person that we've had on the stream today, Christian, has just been an idiot. It kind of does dumbfound you, right? If like this is your first time watching the stream, does this stream make you lose a little bit of faith in
Idiots,
humanity?
dude, you have a computer open with 13 different.
Shut up. Like, let me know in that chat. Like, if this is your first time tuning into the live stream, does it kind of like, is it like an unreal experience just seeing how like genuinely fucking stupid humans get sometimes?
I have a higher
don't
IQ
know.
in education than you, bro. So chill.
Okay, what is the most
did that
abundant
hurt
gas
your
in the
feelings? Did that hurt
no,
your feelings?
No, it didn't. What's
Yeah,
the
it
most?
did.
I have a question. What's the most abundant gas in the atmosphere?
Okay, how about this? What's Ohm's law? What's the law of current
Well,
flow?
can you please answer my question? I asked.
Well,
mine
here's
first.
what you're doing. You're saying, "Oh, I know some stupid little fact." Can you state a fact
Oh.
that you know that I don't know?
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. Okay, but now you go.
Wait, I could state a fact that I know that you don't know.
Okay, go for it.
The 14th Amendment.
And I can state a fact that I know that you don't know.
The 14th Amendment was.
Oh, you're googling it.
No, I'm muting you because you're over.
You're so good with your Google skills.
I'm muting you because you're interrupting me.
No, you're not. It's called mute, buddy. Just hit the little button. It's not that hard, little.
That's what I'm doing right now. But my fact that you don't know would be the fact that the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868. How about this? How many amendments are there in the Constitution, kid? Oh, you don't have a response because you're an idiot? You moron.
Or how about because you're muting me, big dog?
You muted yourself. Oh, get dunked on.
Oh, there's 27.
You said that there's 27?
Oh,
You clearly
look at this
Googled it
stupid
first.
little freaking liberal. Oh, did I hurt your feelings because I just proved you wrong?
No, you Googled it.
Oh, I
Why did
Googled
you
just
Google
like
it?
you, just like you. Look
You
at
admit
it
that
with
you
your
Googled
computer
it?
in front of you. All right, what else you want to talk about? Hey, Santana, I was listening to what you were saying about the prison system. I agree with you. I thought that was an interesting topic. So
Yeah, it's been interesting. Did you, Dean? Did you hear him come off mute just to call? He said, "Stupid liberal."
what I do want to say is because I work.
Yeah.
I work. I don't want to
Hey.
say I work, but if you do want
Hey.
to give people the
Hey,
ability
hey,
to come out,
here's
of the
here's a better
prison system
question.
and be successful,
Here's
you gotta take
I
away
have a question for you. Name
Yeah, what
two
would you
policies passed by the Biden-Harris administration, i.e., bills that they influenced to get passed through Congress, then signed into law, that you thought were bad. Oh, oof. Shit. Oof. Rough.
Lisa, thank you for the 10. Ivan, thank you for the 2. Ryan, thank you for the
border
10.
issue, or we can start with a couple of economic. Let's go with the border issue.
I'm asking you to name a bill that was passed through Congress, then signed into law. The border issue is not a bill that was passed by Congress, then signed into law.
You didn't say give me a bill that was passed into Congress and signed into law.
Oh, how much money do you want to bet?
You just named two policies. You said
How
give
much-
me two
how much money do you wanna
policies
bet?
that you would disagree with?
How much money do you want to bet?
$10,000, Dean.
All right, you're on.
Dean, at this point, I'm going to start blaming you for taking these bets. You know they're not going to pay. Like,
I
they
know, right?
never pay.
Here's
You gotta take
I have
away
a
the-
question for you. Name
Yeah,
two
what would you
policies passed by the Biden-Harris administration, i.e., bills that they influenced to get passed through Congress, then signed into law, that you thought were bad. $10,000, Smack.
All right, bro. I'll send it your way.
Okay, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in bio, pin message on YouTube, handles right there, DEANWITHRS.
I got you, man.
Do it right now.
Nah, I'm good, bro.
No, you got to do it right now, unless you're not a man of your word.
Okay, I'll send it right now, man.
Okay, good boy.
Okay.
You're real
little
quiet
liberal.
now.
A little liberal.
Now you're about to get 10 bands too.
Now go to your No Kings protest.
All right,
Okay,
well,
good.
I'm gonna be going to my No King's Day protest in the freshest Yeezys ever after this. Holy shit! Not actually, by the way, guys. All right, Hitler's sorry, not Hitler. Kanye's a Nazi now. But I remember when I was like in high school, like the most expensive shoes were always Yeezys. You know, you could spend
They
like
were
2
ugly.
bands.
I'm
on
sorry,
the
those
Yeezys.
shoes were ugly. Even before he was, a Nazi. The shoes
Yeah,
were
low-key.
still ugly.
So where's my 10 bands?
I sent it already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't your username white crying liberal at Venmo.com or what was that again?
At Venmo.com.
No.
That's a fucking email, dude.
Venmo.com.
That's a fucking email, brother. All right. Answer the question, though. What are like 2 policies, i.e. bills that were influenced to pass through Congress that Biden then signed into law that you thought were bad?
First off, let's be fair. I'm not going to know the names of the policies.
You
So I'll just give
fucking...
you
Oh, my God.
Hey,
Oh
Dean,
my
you
God.
sit here all day
What a
and you
troll.
look at your
You don't know the name of one policy, one bill?
No, I didn't follow the
Oh
dude.
my God.
I saw
Oh
the
my
reproduction
God.
of I saw the
Okay, then let's
reproduction
just
of
do the
America.
inverse. What is one policy? What is one bill that was influenced to get passed through Congress, then signed into law by Trump that you like?
The Inflation Reduction Act.
That was from Biden.
What?
That's what you asked for. Didn't you?
Oh my God.
Holy fuck.
Didn't
You're
you
not
ask for
listening
that?
at all. Like,
Dude.
you're not even trying anymore. Are you
He's
on
not even
power save
trying.
mode? What's happening?
Okay, there's Biden policy. Okay. Why was it bad? Why didn't you like it?
I have no clue about it. I'll be honest with you. I Googled it. At least I got the balls enough to say I Googled it instead of just sit there on your computer.
Are you like
Hi,
a
partner.
Are you like a masochist? You just like want to be embarrassed, want to be hurt, want to be hated?
Want to be hated? How about the Lake and Riley Act? Did you like that one, Dean?
No, I would have vetoed it.
Oh, I'm sure you would have. I'm sure you would have. You don't even like talking about Lake and Riley, do you? Or any of that nature?
Well, actually, her family
said,
doesn't
please
like.
stop. Exactly.
Damn.
Thanks. You owe me a Coke. Her family said stop using her name. So you guys, for some reason, love spamming that, even though her family has overwhelmingly said, please respect that, and they don't want you invoking her name. But you guys keep doing it.
Who's you guys? I said it once.
You just did it. You need a factory reset. Someone needs to unplug you and plug you back in. Like, you're just not tracking.
Come on, Risa Santana. Chill out.
Carol
bro.
Ann, thank you so much for the $20. Who says, I appreciate you so much. I've noticed when the MAGA noise gets heavy,
Thanks,
hearing
Santana.
from supporters
Can I
lifts
ask
your
you?
spirits instantly. So what if you let a few supporters join for the last 10 minutes of your stream so you could hear their firsthand experiences or do a Q&A? Carol Ann, that's actually a really good idea. I'll have to start doing that one of these streams. Thank you for the $20, Carol Ann. You are so kind. Please show some love to Carol Ann down below.
Hey,
in
Dean,
that
how
chat.
does it feel to have someone
Same thing
on
to
your
you,
back, on your
cat
back
lady.
constantly
Thank you
helping
so much for the
Google stuff?
$25 over on Super Chat. Who says just to support you?
You guys
Let's
don't need
get
to pay him.
250
You guys
cat
can
lady
Google it
W's down below in that
yourself.
chat for the $25 donation. And Sophie, thank you for the $10. Same thing to you.
You guys
Duga.
can use
Thank you for
Google
the $10
yourself. You
as
don't
well.
need to pay this
I
guy.
appreciate you guys so much for the love and support. You know, thank you. I take that as a compliment. That's like telling a natural bodybuilder that he's on steroids. You're basically saying there's no way that any amount of work and
How about you do
discipline
this?
could have made that natural
Why don't you show us
bodybuilder
your
as good as he
computer
is.
screen? Why don't you show us your computer screen, Dean? Why don't you turn your phone around? Show us your computer screen.
Sure.
Let's see how many tabs you have open.
Nicole, thank you so much for the 5. I'm glad that you've enjoyed the topic. Brian, thank you so much for the 20. You're awesome.
TikTok and YouTube.
Boom. Romania, thank you for the 1121. You are absolutely amazing. I enjoy dunking on this guy with my 13 screens.
Bro, you haven't dunked on anyone since racist Santana.
There's my screen. It's you just see my face twice because it's OBS for TikTok and OBS for YouTube.
Bro, you haven't dunked on anyone, Santana. You're just racist, bro.
Hey, Smack, can you respond? It's OBS for TikTok, OBS for YouTube. You could see my face twice.
Bro, I can't
That's what
see
my
the
screen looks
screen.
like.
I can't see the tabs at the top. Hey, do you guys want to really know why
You don't care about this anymore?
No. Okay, I'll give it to you.
No.
Good
He
job.
doesn't.
Good job. I'll give it to
He
you.
doesn't
You guys-
care
you guys
anymore.
wanna really know why I'm against the whole Trump sexual assault stuff? You want to know why I am? My biggest issue is
Do you
apparently
think that
with-
sexual assault is wrong? That's why you're against him
I
being
think
a
it's
rapist?
horribly wrong. I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible.
Oh, so that's why you're
Yeah,
against him
I
being a
do.
rapist. Good.
No, here's my issue. One, you guys don't care about Biden showering with his daughter. Two, hold on, I'm not done. Two, apparently, whenever he SA'd Eugene Carroll, it happened in the 80s.
Eugene Carroll.
Whatever,
Eugene
racist
Carroll's
Santana,
ridiculous.
shut the fuck
Jesus.
up. Apparently, it happened.
That loser loses his right to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
For the
a loser.
best.
Yeah. Low key. What if we just took his right to vote away? Who would be in support of that? Brittany, thank you for the $10 who says just to support even more in spite of this guy. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. That guy's nuts. Santana. Well, appreciate you for coming up here. I'm Indian. Sorry that, your time on the live stream was constituted of verbal abuse for some idiot, but
listen, again, I've been listening the whole time, so I've been having fun because, again, I don't know what's been going on for like the last couple of days, but it's been insane. So it's just fun watching someone else go through it instead of me. So, but I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you for coming up, man. You have a good night, okay?
You as well.
Hey, listen, for everybody who tuned in today, if you like the stream, make sure to hit that follow button. I do this every day. Follow on TikTok, drop a sub on YouTube if you're watching over there, and join the updates channel on my Instagram account to get a notification every time I go live. See y'all tomorrow. With that being said, peace, love, good night, and goodbye.